am unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable.
I am unbeatable. Couple minutes not a score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of start, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Welcome to round 6 of the British Basketball League, and this week's first game sees the Manchester Giants hosting the Bristol Flyers. Last season, it was honours even as both teams won one and lost one home and away. And there's nothing between Josh Bett and current London Lion Jordan Taylor. They'll take you through this one.
Thank you, Jeanette, and welcome, Basel fans, here to the British Basketball League as the Manchester Giants are set to take on the Bristol Flyers. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the British Basketball League. If you're watching us live on YouTube, or if you're watching us on the New England Sports Network on the other side of the pond in the United States of America. I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside the great Jordan Taylor of the London Lions. And Jordan, what can we tell our new basketball fans across the pond about the British Basketball League?
Well, we're excited to be on in America with the NESN, and the British Basketball League is high-flying, hosts some of the best players across the pond, including former University of Wisconsin star Sam Decker. But tonight, we have a host of good players and talented guys who like to get up and down, fly around the court, and we're excited to showcase that talent.
Well, to all of our viewers currently watching on the British Basketball League YouTube as well as the New England Sports Network, it's currently Bristol Flyers. They're in town here in the north against the Manchester Giants. And what can we say about this epic showdown?
Well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be up and down. It's going to be physical, aggressive. And for Manchester, it's going to be about getting in transition. 1.3 points per possession. That means they score 130 points every 100 possessions when they're out in transition and take care of the basketball. Dead last in the league in turnovers. Defensively, they have to rebound against this Bristol team that leads the league in offensive rebounding. And then offensively for Bristol, it's about shot selection and decision making. They have a stable of talented guards that get downhill and get into the lane, and it's going to be tough for Manchester to keep them out of the paint. And then defensively, it's all about staying defensively sound and stick to their principles.
Well, now, Basel fans, we're going to show you the league standings here from the British Basketball League, and Jordan Taylor's London Lions, the only undefeated team after a close game against the Newcastle Eagles. But there you can see Bristol, as you mentioned, sitting in 4th place. They're on a run right now, JT.
Won the last 3. You know, we got to see them against Cheshire the last time we got together, and that kind of started this run that they have. 3 of those wins against the 9th place Plymouth City Patriots. But if you're Coach Kapoulis over there in Bristol, you're happy that you're taking care of business against teams that you're supposed to beat.
Well, now, Basel fans, we're going to show you a very interesting piece on one of the players for the Bristol Flyers, Rafael Thomas Edwards, and we're going to show you what life is going to be like after basketball.
This is the humble abode, but this is, you know, where I'm putting my stuff outside of basketball. For me, it took like a day of editing, and no one would know that I had to do all these keyframes and put everything together. So things that you never know. You know, come down the court playing defense or whatever. You're not thinking, he just spent a couple hours before the game putting together a video. So I took a year off last year to coach. That experience kind of taught me so much that I've tried to come back now and kind of see the game a bit differently. Being a captain means so much to me. Because I was coaching last year, it's a perfect way to kind of bridge the gap between Coach Andreas and the team. You know, as a player, you think, oh, why is he getting on me? Or why has he done this? Or why has he done that? And for me to be able to be hey, this is why you did it, and then actually understand and kind of decipher some of the messaging, I think will be huge for us. In my 20 years of basketball, I've never been the captain. So I think it's important for me to kind of take my perception of what I feel like a leader should be. So this year, I wanted to know as much as I can about the background stuff.
Right. Since Raf's been named captain of Bristol Flyers, he's wanting to learn a lot more about what goes on behind the scenes at the club. So today he's come down here to the office at Bristol Sport to learn more about the staff, meet some of the team, and learn more what goes on behind the scenes at Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, let me see the drill.
Snack, yeah. What do you want? Healthy gains, you know?
You need healthier stuff than this, man. When you're playing, you just think about me. And then when you take like a holistic view, you realize that you're just one piece. And then outside of the team, there's like coach. And outside of the coach, there's like managers, volunteers. Outside of that is like marketing team and like media team and, you know, ticketing team. Like all of this stuff is all so important. And then outside of that is like fans. So like this year, I've tried to help everybody, like try and reach out to everybody because I understand how important they are to the Flyers. As I get older, because of basketball and because you present yourself the right way and you used it, you're able to kind of take yourself into the next part of life. So, I don't know, without basketball, I don't know where I'll be, but like I'm thankful for it. Hey, what y'all do? 1, 2, 3.
An amazing piece featured on a very good player, Raffle Thomas Edwards. And yeah, what can we say about him? He is just a solid superstar for this Bristol Flyers team.
Yeah, he's an X factor for them. He brings aggressiveness, he brings experience, as he mentioned. You know, being able to go and coach for a year and then get back into the game is extremely difficult. Not only to do that physically, but mentally, it's just a challenge. So shout out to him for being able to do that. I can relate to him being a captain with the Lions. It's the first time in my career as well. It's a fun experience. It's a humbling experience. And it's something that really, it's almost, I don't want to say like being a dad, but it's just a change in your basketball career that is that's fun to go through. So shout out to him.
Well, I think what a lot of fans will probably want to know right now, what does life after basketball look for Jordan Taylor? Hopefully not anytime soon, of course, but...
Yeah, we'll see. You know, you never know what's going to happen, but I think you're looking at it, you know. So the British Basketball League has allowed me to commentate, and similar to Ralph there, I get to see what it's like behind the scenes with London, but also with the league, and get to do some of this, and it's a lot of fun. So this, along with many other things outside of basketball, because there's a big world outside of basketball as well.
Well, it's going to be an honor to call this game along with you, but at the moment, Basel fans, we're going to take a short break as we will be back momentarily.
Back to 7, and oh, Sharma! Have mercy!
Yeah, Anderson needs to heave it from miles out. Oh, Jamal Anderson, are you kidding me?
And he knows it. His big smile, rainbow shot right at the last second.
Great pass, but even better defense.
Oh my goodness! That one would have been a highlight reel.
Just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team, jumping off of buildings with the stimulation. Now I'm reaching new heights. I'ma need the off-white. Let's camera action, we ready to roll. All right, places, everybody, let's put on a good show. Big time.
Welcome back, Basel fans, to the British Basketball League. As tonight, the Manchester Giants host the Bristol Flyers. And if you're watching us live on the British Basketball League YouTube, or if you're watching us across the pond in the United States of America on the New England Sports Network, at the moment, we're going to take a look at the starting lineups of these two teams. Well, we are in Manchester, so we will go with the home team, the Giants. They will be starting with Canadian guard Mason Borsay with British backcourt duo of Evan Walsh. Harris will also part them a small lineup. Jamel Anderson will play power forward, while Austin Lawton will be the number 5, the center for the Giants. Well, a big game coming for the home team. They need to turn this around, but the visitors, on the other hand, coached by Andreas Kapoulas, his starting lineup will be Lucas, Tevin Ollison, Johnson in the backcourt, while Roel Graham-Bell will play power forward, and the Mean Green Machine, Brad Green, will be his center. Well, there are your starting lineups for both the Giants and the Bristol Flyers. But at the moment, we're going to give you some key players to look out for. And I think at the moment, JT, one player has to be Jamel Anderson.
Jamel Anderson is the one. He's a versatile 6'7" workhorse. He's extremely versatile for the Giants. He leads them in points, assists, and steals. He's the best perimeter defender the Giants have. And they're going to rely on him to keep the aggressive Bristol guards like Keedy Johnson, Tevin Ollison out of the paint. Offensively, he doesn't know a shot he doesn't like. And the Giants will rely on him to get them going, both with perimeter creation and out of the paint.
Well, another one of his teammates you want to look out for is Nick Stampley, really turning around his game in the last few moments for this team.
Nick Stampley has been aggressive, and he has been great. He's a big physical workhorse who beats the glass up for the Giants. He's a top 5 rebounder in the league, and he has his work cut out for him tonight. The Manchester team is nearly dead last in the league, and they're going up against the best offensive rebounding team in the league. Stampley's going to be big for them, finishing off possessions and getting that transition offense jump-started.
Well, those were the key players for the Manchester Giants. Let's now take a look at the Bristol Flyers. And, you know, one player that comes to mind has to be this man, Tevin Ollison.
Tevin Ollison, yeah, he's fun to watch. He scores in a multitude of ways, He leads the Bristol Flyers in scoring along with Keedy Johnson, and he can get hot in a hurry. He's coming off a 23-point performance against the Plymouth Patriots last game, so expect him to be aggressive early and often.
Well, one man he will be partnered in his team with on the court will be the big man, Brad Green, the Green Machine.
Brad Green is an interior force. He leads the offensive rebounding attack for the Flyers at 2.9 a game, and that's also, like I said, the Flyers lead the league in offensive rebounding. He also provides a change of pace and allows them to play inside out, slow the game down if they need to, which is a nice change of pace from those attacking guards that they have with Keedy Johnson and co.
Well, of course, these two teams coached by Brian Simonian and Andreas Kapoulas. But at the moment now, we're going to take a look at some of the key fixtures coming up here in the British Basketball League as we open up the weekend with this fixture here in Manchester. Well, Basketball fans currently watching live on the British Basketball League YouTube, of course, more games will be coming up. The Classico tomorrow, but of course, Jordan Taylor's team will play on Sky, and that will also be on the New England Sports Network. Well, fans, we're going to take a short break.
Back to 7, and oh, Sharma! Have mercy!
Yeah, Anderson needs to heave it from miles out. Oh, Jamel Anderson, are you kidding me?
And he knows it. His big smile, rainbow shot right at the last second.
Great pass, but even better defense.
Oh my goodness! That one would have been a highlight reel.
Just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team, jumping off of buildings with the stimulation. Now I'm reaching new heights. I'ma need the off-white. Lights, camera, action, we ready to roll. All right, places, everybody, let's put on a good show. Big time.
Welcome back, Basel fans. British Basel League about to get underway here between our host, the Manchester Giants, and the visitors, the Bristol Flyers. Our three referees for tonight, we have Paul Unsworth, our crew chief, with referee number 1, Neil McKelvey, and Kevin Kinsella. Well, again, we're going to get this show underway. It's going to be the team from the Northwest, the Manchester Giants, one of the more historical teams here in the British Basel League, up against a team that joined back in the 2014-15 regular season, and since then has made themselves definitely a top 4 contender. Well, hi, everybody. I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside superstar of the London Lions, Jordan Taylor. Jordan, it's now time for showtime now.
Here we go. Superstar is very generous, too. I appreciate that. We got a couple of them. So if I can get in with Sam and Matt along that, that's great.
We've got to give credit where credit's due, that's for sure. Well, Flyers now going down to Green. Green in the lane. Again, the big man getting a very early look, and that's been the bread and butter for the Bristol Flyers this season.
Great start. That's exactly what we talked about. Tajon Lucas getting in the paint, Brad Green rolling, and getting the easy bucket to start.
Well, Giants, we've seen in the last few games really liking to force the effort from the perimeter. But at the moment, unable to get that one.
It's a tough start. Not necessarily the shot you want, but like we said, Jamel Anderson is going to be aggressive. He's going to let it fly.
Green kicks this one out. Flies now. They try the left from downtown. Anderson secures the rebound, takes a deflection out of bounds, but that will be back to the Giants.
Those are two really good possessions for the Flyers to start the game. You get in the paint, you get a drop-off layup, and then you play through Brad Green. Inside-out 3, that's the highest 3 in basketball, and that's why the Flyers have been shooting a higher percentage from 3 these past 3-4 games.
Well, Giants got the big victory here last weekend against the Leicester Riders, and then lost the next day against their rivals in the Northwest, the Cheshire Phoenix. But they've had a lot of rest since then, and a way to definitely kickstart the weekend. Bolton tries to get a lob here. Has to go for this one. Got it off in time, but couldn't finish it. He's going to get called for the reach-in foul.
Tough call there for Lawton. You got to finish that, but you hate to see that. Those are the fouls as a player that you just are absolutely sick with. You feel like you get fouled, you're going after the ball, you just run into somebody, and he picks up his first one. He's foul prone, though, so he's going to have to watch himself. No Legend Roberton tonight, so they need him on the floor.
And that's interesting because when the Giants played against Leicester Riders, granted the Riders played the night before, but almost the size mismatch went in favor of the Giants. Now, Flyers go for the mid-range, and again, getting good looks early on.
They've been sound. That's what they want. In the mid-range, high percentage shots, and that's why they're on a 3-game win streak, as we mentioned. But yeah, you talked about them playing a little bit better when they go small. I think that's because of their transition attack and allowing them to fly up and down. As Lawton gets his second, and he's probably going to have to go sit down.
Austin Lawton getting called for the illegal screen, and there is the big man that they are missing. I mean, he simply is a legend. And for our fans currently watching in the United States of America, they're currently without 2 of their primary big players, William Lee and, of course, Legend Roberta. But, you know, you mentioned they have to adapt to playing with a very smaller lineup.
Yeah, they do. And we hate that you don't get to see Legend and William Lee play, both high flyers, both play above the rim. Exciting to watch. But now that's where you mentioned them being good with small lineups. This is where you get in trouble with the small lineups. You're going against the best offensive rebounding team in the league. So what do? Stampley comes in early. They're going to put pressure on him. If you're smart, Coach Kapoulis, I would expect him to go right back inside to Brad Green right here.
Well, Legend Roberta went to Clemson University, leaving in 2016-17. Actually finished his university career at Nicholls State. While William Lee played at the University of Alabama. So, you know, 2 key players that they are without. But as we mentioned, they're going to have to adapt to life without them.
A lot of familiar names in the British Basketball League. As you mentioned, Legend Roberton at Clemson. I have a teammate, Dante Grantham, who was with the Oklahoma City Thunder and Clippers for a short stint, also a Clemson Tiger.
Well, again, left wide open for 50 feet. At the moment, Manchester Giants paying way too much homage to the Bristol Flyers backcourt.
Tajon Lucas, great start for him. He's been playing good basketball, coming off of a great game against Plymouth City the last game. And he's been really sound for them. Had that game winner for them against Cheshire a couple weeks ago.
Stampley getting a handoff here with Mason Boursier. Canadian international trying to go pick and pop, but they turn it right back over. Now it took a deflection, but that will go back to the Flyers. The Giants at the moment looking very nervous here in their offense.
They are. And Boursier, they need him to be sound as a point guard. That's kind of the one position that they don't have. You know, they have a lot of guys that can score. Jalen Harris, kind of a combo guard, lefty. But Boursier leads them, or is tied with Jamel Anderson for leading them in assists. So they need him to be sound and make plays and get them together offensively.
Flyers looking to extend this to a potential 9-point ball game. The 3 is up, no good. And so keeping the Flyers off the offensive boards.
Jamel Anderson doing a little bit of everything.
Tempo will be key for the Giants. They're at home now. They need to make sure they use the home court advantage. There's nowhere to go. Suffocated defense. Time winding down here in the shot clock. Bush has got to get something going here. And the Giants really struggling. Stepping through, putting it up, and again, the bank is open. Well, something out of nothing there, Jordan.
Evan Walsh, he's capable of that. He'll create something out of nothing. He did there. If you're Bristol, you love to start, though. That's what we talked about. Be the aggressor. Be aggressive on the perimeter. They lead the league in steals, and that's what they're doing so far.
Well, I think Jamel Anderson, I mean, look at this. I mean, that's a case of just throwing up a prayer, and again, it was answered from above. But going back to that previous play, Roel Graham-Bell out of control, going out of bounds. Jamel Anderson catching the ball out of bounds.
Yeah, that's just not a smart play by him. Veteran play, so you don't expect that from him. It happens from time to time. We all fall asleep on the job a little bit.
Well, definitely one of the key players, one of the key faces of British basketball, Jamel Anderson, originally from the city of Nottingham, which many fans overseas will know. That's based on the stories of the infamous Robin Hood. The Euro step goes in, making it look easy, shifting and shaking around the defense.
Ooh, Tevin Allison. We said he's fun to watch. That's a pretty Euro step. What'd you call it? The Euro Bristolian step?
Euro Bristolian, that's correct.
There you go. So he's off early.
Steadily trying a three-pointer. We saw this against the Riders, and again, just like he did, 2 3-pointers in the first half against the Riders, but that's not his bread and butter.
It's not his game at all, but if he's knocking down that shot, that makes their offense and him that much more versatile. He's tough going to his left. Only a 29% three-point shooter.
Well, Green had the back down, wasn't able to finish it. Giants could tie the game up. This is good, solid ball, and they find Stapley. Stapley's going to have to really work here against Brad Green. And the size presence of the Green machine making it impossible.
Manchester starting to move that ball, which will help them relieve some of that heavy pressure from Bristol. That's what they have to do, a nice response from them early.
Well, taking it down the middle, no help side defense, and the Flyers currently with a 4-point lead. Easy penetration.
Keedy Johnson, that's what he does. He attacks the rim, attacks the rim, attacks the rim, lives at the free throw line. Top 5 in the league at getting to the line. There he finishes strong at the rim.
Mason Boursier wide open, doesn't take many 3 points, but left wide open. He will deliver, the Canadian international.
Giants shoot the 3-point ball, 4th or 6th in the league with 3-point percentage, but much higher percentage when they touch that paint first.
Already 3 trables coming from the Giants. Only missing 1 so far. Flyers yet to get things going for downtown. Johnson going baseline. Takes a slight deflection. So that'll be a baseline possession to the Flyers with 3.5 seconds left on the shot clock.
You see both of these teams kind of shaking the rust off as you see Jalen Harris gets in the lane there, finds Boursier, who started the season off injured, kind of finding his rhythm. But both of these teams finding their rhythm offensively as the season goes on. A tough attempt there.
Giants with another chance to take the lead. So far, it's all been happening from the perimeter. But can they get something going elsewhere? Anderson again. Oh, nice little Shaquille. Well, again, I want to call that Hakeem the Dream move there by Jamel Anderson.
Hakeem the Dream. I hope he's not paying him $50,000 like they say Giannis was per session. But a tough move by Jamel Anderson. We've seen him on the perimeter. There he is in the post getting busy.
Green coming up to set the ball screen. Flyers looking to retake the game. The 3 is up, and the first tray ball for the Flyers comes from downtown. And who else? Tevin Allison, the man that you spoke about prior to this game.
Tevin Allison with the pass. I think actually Tajon Lucas knocked that down, but he's off to a great start himself. 3 for 3 already, or 3 for 4, excuse me.
An offensive foul's gonna be called here. Well, Basel fans, we currently have 4:24 to go in the first quarter. Bristol with a 2-point lead, and at the moment, we're gonna take a timeout, and we'll be back momentarily.
Hey, it's Taj Green here at Crep City, Newcastle. Let's go shop and see what I find, but it's gonna be on Newcastle Eagles budget. I always wanted to hoop in these, but I feel like that'd be too heavy for me. There's always been a connection with basketballs and sneakers. I feel like, you know, it started with Jordan, and I feel like now just with the fashion and shoes, and it's worldwide. The best player to ever touch a basketball, behind me. This is gonna describe my whole team in one. Teamwork. If you think about it, we got a team full of players, real fast, athletic. This is Darius Defoe, man. He about business. If I could pick a shoe from this table, the Panthers, you know, you can wear those with anything. Like, I can fit in with anything. I just feel good, you know, being on the court because I'm still blessed to be able to play. And it's only year 2, so I feel like it's more years to come.
Welcome back, Basel fans, to the British Basel League, who are joining us on the British Basel League YouTube, as well as overseas the United States of America on the New England Sports Network. There is head coach Brian Simonian of the Manchester Giants. And probably during that timeout, what would have been the key message he would have said to his players early on?
I think just to keep moving the ball. You know, they settled in. They started off slow. But I think that fluky bank by Evan Walsh kind of got them started, settled them in. But just keep moving the ball. It's the only way you can relieve the pressure that Bristol's putting on them. And then defensively, they have to put more pressure and make it a little more difficult on Bristol. You can't outscore everybody all the time.
Well, Tejan Lucas drawing the foul against Nick Lewis, who's just subbed into the game for the Giants. The Canadian international joined the British Basel League with rival Sheffield Sharks. Also played for the London Lions, who, Jordan, you currently play for. So a very well-experienced British Basel League veteran. Tries to penetrate down the middle. Loses the ball, but the deflection comes off of him, so it will be possession back to the Giants.
That was a well-drawn-up play by Bristol. Great hands there by Manchester. Poor spacing kind of did the Flyers in there. I think it's Roel Graham-Bell has to get to the corner there to allow Tejan Lucas to get downhill and not allow his man to help.
Anderson top of the key now. Got it here by Roel Graham-Bell. Looking for the isolation. Nowhere to go here. Time winding down. Stampley in the corner. Tries to go for penetration. Bumps. Puts him a tough one. And again, this guy can make real difficult shots on the floor.
Nick Stampley has been playing very, very well for them. That's a tough play because that's a terrible possession for Manchester, and he bailed them out.
Bristol's made 1 3-pointer so far. They're going to make another foul, but that's not going to go in. But it will be 2 free throws coming up here for the Flyers.
There goes that man, Keedy Johnson. He lives at the free throw line. He has an interesting a unique relationship with his father and mother. Talks to his dad before every game from prison through his mom. And he mentions to him that he needs to go get his money at the free throw line. A very tight-knit family. Fun to watch him kind of model his game and get his inspiration from his mother and his father, and out of that Dallas area, so a lot of Americans might be familiar with his game.
Well, Keedy Johnson currently the free throw line, started his college basketball in JUCO at Temple College, and then went to play for Western Virginia University. You talk about getting your money for the free throw line. His free throw percentage is very impressive. Usually over 80% when he played in the NCAA. 2 seasons at JUCO and, of course, at West Virginia.
West Virginia is what comes to mind, that tough downhill nature. I think a lot of British Basketball League fans have seen it with Tariq Phillip out of West V, that Bob Huggins style, and he's shooting 81% at the line, so he cashes in there.
Stampley goes for another 3-pointer. Lewis tries to contend for an offensive rebound, but the Flyers secure possession. Johnson kicks this one out. They go for another 3-pointer. Walsh able to secure this one, throws a long pass. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness! Give these guys some credit. Again, time coming from Evan Walsh. Oh, again, Walsh just threw this one, made the touchdown, and Anderson threw it down with no regard for the feelings of the transition defense of the Bristol Flyers.
Heck of a pass by Evan Walsh. That's what happens when you rebound against good offensive rebounding teams. It allows for leakouts, and you see Jamel Anderson there shooting threes on the block and running the wing like he's old school Karl Malone.
Also, all of our viewers currently watching, Manchester currently in the bonus. It's caused the foul trouble that they have been in at the moment, so any more fouls will be sending the Flyers to the free throw line. Bristol Flyers picking up the 2nd team foul at the moment. But again, JT, we got to go back to that. I mean, you are a point guard yourself, so have the confidence to throw a pass like that. I mean, it's almost like a dare at that point.
It's really a sign of confidence, to be honest. When you're willing to get the rebound and throw a pass like that, you're feeling good about yourself, your game's flowing. And that's exactly what Manchester is good at, when they can get out in transition and get easy baskets like that.
Giants take a 1-point lead. These two teams going back and forth at each other. Oh, Anderson trying to say it took a deflection. The referee is going to keep this as Flyers ball on the baseline. The Giants now looking a lot more aggressive on the defense here, trying to make everything very difficult, both on and off the ball against the Flyers.
Trajan Jacob just checks in for the Flyers as well, another downhill guard that gives them some versatility. Averaged 15 and 7 for them back in 21-22.
We'll get another dime coming from Evan Walsh and another finish. And at the moment, we got a 1-2 punch here in the showtime of the Giants.
That is a nice pass. Evan Walsh feeling himself right now. And Jamel Anderson again out in transition. Tough finish there by Tevin Hollison around the rim.
But JT, just look how quickly the Bristol Flyers are able to respond. They get scored on, but just how quickly they get the ball inbound and straight up the floors at the moment. Lewis going for penetration. Kicks this one out to Evan Walsh. He turns it over. It's a costly turnover there for the Giants.
Bristol has to make Manchester play in the half court. When they play in the half court, 0.75 points per possession, which means only 75 points every 100 possessions. That is not very good for anybody listening out there. When they're really good where they're really good is in transition.
Well, the Flyers have made a change. Leslie Smith checking in for Brad Green. So just make a change. They go for another three-pointer. This one's up and no good. Flyers with only one tray ball here at the moment in the first quarter.
Don't love that shot if you're Coach Kapulis. Just checked in, coming off of a double stagger, running away from the hoop. When you're making Manchester work, they're not a great defensive team. You like to see them get a better look at the hoop than that.
Addison faking the pass, and he's going to draw the foul against Rafa Thomas Edwards. Again, the key player that we featured at the beginning of this game. It's a lot of interesting for fans to watch, you know, being obviously admired by the professional basketball leagues that play in the league. But of course, it was very interesting to see the story of Rafa Thomas Edwards' life after basketball. Again, it makes you wonder the careers of some of these players. What will they do when the career does come to an end?
You know, I think what basketball players need to understand is being able to become a professional basketball player, just the mental fortitude and the ability to sacrifice is really all you need. So you can really choose anything you want to do and just kind of put your mind to it. I think you have an advantage over a lot of people.
Well, the Flyers getting ready to make another change here as Rafa Thomas Edwards, off the lead, just check in, is going to come back out. Roel Graham-Bell, man who featured previously for the Plymouth City Patriots. Stampley getting rejected by Leslie Smith. And the release was a little bit too slow from Nick Stampley.
Stampley needs to get downhill. Get downhill. He's making shots, but you don't want him to fall in love with that great defense by Nick Lewis, and that's what the Giants need.
Well, goes for a quick three in transition. It's up. They had a 3-on-1. They went for the three-pointer. Now the Flyers can make them pay. But the Flyers fail to do so. The Giants fight over the rebounds. Sloppy play from both these two teams.
You know, you mentioned 3-on-1 and they go for the three-pointer. That's kind of the Steph Curry effect of basketball. But nowadays, for Nick Lewis, that's a shot you don't mind for him because he averages 12 points a game, 6 threes a game, and that's something that's going to get him going, as you see Trajan Jacob still trying to find his rhythm.
Well, for those just joining us, first time watching the British Basketball League, Nick Lewis, you know, played against your team, London Lions, and you know, it's exactly what you said. He's that kind of player as the Giants find him on the perimeter.
See how quickly they close out to him because they know when he gets going, he gets going. I believe he had 28 or 29 on us last week, and that's because we did not shut down his airspace.
McNeil nowhere to go, finds Stampley. A few seconds here, almost turns it over. McNeil gets a three in the corner, three is up, no good. The Giants secure the offensive board. Nick Lewis from no man's land. Maybe that Stephen Curry effect is no joke.
Nick Lewis will shoot it from half court if he has an inch of space, and he can make that shot.
He joined the British Basketball League at a very young age. Lived in Canada. Spent a very long time playing for the Sheffield Sharks. He spent one season, as we mentioned, in 2016-17 with the London Lions.
Can't lie to you, I've not seen a lot of basketball players with hair as wavy as his.
Quite jealous, to be honest.
Yeah, me too, me too. I might have to go to Turkey soon.
Addison goes for the long one, can't get it. Another offensive rebound again, the putback. And second chances could be an X factor here for the Giants.
Manchester turning that offensive rebounding thing upside down. They got 3 on that possession.
6 seconds difference between the game and shot clock. Already it's only been Giants with 1 Good back from an offensive rebound. The Flyers yet to do that so far. We'll go for another three-pointer. Hand in his face, can't get it, but the follow-up, no good again. The Flyers still without any second chance points, but the transition play, well, if he looked up ahead, he would have got it, but the three is up. Oh, baby! Are you kidding me? Nick Lewis struggling early on, but the confidence, it is contagious with this man.
Nick Lewis, he will shoot it from anywhere. That is a crazy shot, to be honest with you, but not for him. That's a shot he can knock down. 1 for 3. Not a lot of basketball players can just check in the game and shoot 3 deep threes, but that's a big shot going into the second quarter.
Well, Basel fans, we are going to take a short break as we will be back for the second quarter momentarily.
Back to 7, and oh, Sharma! Have mercy!
Yeah, Anderson needs to heave it from miles out. Oh, Jamal Anderson, are you kidding me?
And he knows it. He's big smile, rainbow shot right at the last second.
Great pass, but even better defense.
Oh my goodness! That one would have been a highlight reel.
Just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team. Jumping off of buildings with the stimulation. Never reaching new heights. I'ma need the off-white. Lights, camera, action, we ready to roll. Alright, places, everybody, let's put on a good show. Big time!
Welcome back, British Basketball fans. The final moments of the first quarter saw that man, Nick Lewis, nail a very deep three-pointer in the corner as we are back to get here underway. Well, I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, alongside Jordan Taylor. And Jordan, at the moment, 6-point lead into the Giants. Positive signs here from the home side.
Positive signs, and the big reason for that is keeping Bristol off the offensive glass. No second chance points in that first quarter for Bristol, and a big steal there by Nick Lewis as he gets downhill.
Lewis keeping it about, of course, 10 points coming from the Giants bench. Anderson wide open to corner, three is up, and it's good. And again, the ball is just moving smoothly, and the Giants are making it rain. That's their 5th three-point field goal, 50% tonight for the home team.
They're playing inside out. They're touching the paint, and they're getting kickouts. Those are higher percentage threes. And then also something that they haven't done all year is turning defense to offense and keeping Bristol off that offensive glass.
Flyers need to find a bit of momentum. Fakes the pass, tries to go down the middle, just in and around the defense, and again, making it look easy.
Trajan Jacob, that's what he does. Strong left hand, athletic finisher at the rim. Hopefully that gets him going. Started off 0 for 3. That's something that generally helps scorers build a rhythm once you see that ball go through the net. I think that'll get him going.
Again, he made it look very simple by just penetrating and breaking down the entire Manchester Giants defense. But they still have a 7-point lead, and a lot of that has been down to this man, Nick Lewis.
Nick Lewis, since he checked in the game, I'm not a big plus-minus stat guy, but +9 in 5 minutes. And it's been in large part to his defense and his aggressiveness offensively.
Flyers looking to chip into the deficit. Again, one thing about the Flyers is they're a very patient, very calculated basketball team on offense.
They are that. Manchester's done a good job. There's another steal for Manchester. They've done a good job of kind of taking them out of rhythm after that quick 6 or 8-0 start.
Well, they're going to call an offensive foul against Jamel Anderson. Anderson had the mismatch, but, you know, it's not the kind of mismatch Jamel Anderson wants on the perimeter. He wants that one probably a little bit close to the basket because, you know, he's a great player, but he's not going to try and beat Corey Samuels on a one-on-one. I mean, I'll let you assess that one.
You know what? You saw Jamel Anderson's face. He didn't say anything, but he was clearly disgusted. I don't love the call, but you're right. You would like to see him kind of hit the wing there and dive into the post and take advantage of the size mismatch.
Well, Samuels checking into the game, a young British basketball prospect as well. Graham Bell goes for a tough one. Yeah, but it had in his face. Such a high release by Graham Bell.
Tough shot by Graham Bell. Not necessarily his game, but he's versatile as well. If you're Manchester, though, you live with that.
Well, Lewis getting away with a push-off. Keeping the ball in his hands for quite a long time now. Now we're under 10 here on the shot clock. Lewis made his last three, goes for another one. Manchester just lacking a little bit of fluidity in their offense.
They are. They got to get back to moving the ball and finding the things that are good. Bristol got away with one. You see a nice pass there from Trajan Jacob and Brad Green when we talked about beating up the inside.
He is such a simple post player. I mean, again, he just gets into the right spaces. It almost looks like he doesn't work hard, but he does. We know that for a fact.
There's a saying, do your work early. And he runs right to that front of the rim. He's a big body. He seals you off, and that's just tough to deal with. You might deal with it for a couple possessions, but eventually it's going to wear you down.
Well, Anderson goes for a three-pointer. Can't get it. Giants trying to go for second chances, but a foul has been called. The Flyers have gone on a 6-0 run since trailing by 9 points. But now they're gifting the Giants with 2 free throws.
A tough couple possessions there, shot selection-wise, from the Giants. But one thing they are doing is getting on that offensive glass. Clearly a point of emphasis for Coach Simonian before the game. That's their 4th offensive rebound.
Well, new Giants team from last season. Jones being one of the returning players along with Nick Lewis. So, you know, when you have a team of new players, it does take a little bit of a transition period to really gel and understand each other. I mean, you knew this because you came almost midway, well, not midway, but early, just after the start of the season with the Lions last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Continuity is not only in sports, but just in life, but definitely in basketball. Continuity is always a positive thing. And it takes a minute to gel and find your rhythm with new teammates.
Well, Graham Bell made his last shot from that area. Again, way short on that one. Giants will live with that.
You kind of saw these teams start off the game in a good offensive rhythm, both sides. And now you're kind of seeing quick shots that guys aren't normally accustomed to taking. You want to see both sides kind of get back into their offenses and settle into to their comfortabilities.
Well, both teams haven't gone a lot to the charity stripe this evening, but neither has missed a free throw. So maybe something to look to capitalize on. Anderson for a three-point again. Sinks this one. Good confidence from Jamel Anderson from the three-point line.
And that's where he's comfortable. You cannot let him just sit there and look at the rim and knock that down. 2 for 4 now, 13 points early, 5 rebounds. Like we said, he's doing a little bit of everything. Here's Manchester back in transition.
Oh, again, it's just turnover after turnover, a wasted transition play. Flyers have numbers. Go for another 3 and make that number tray from the tray ball line for the Flyers.
That's what you have to avoid if you're Manchester, the turnovers, and you allow Bristol to get downhill, and you allow a scorer like Trajan Jacob to get his feet set and hit his 5th point of the game.
What could have been a 10-point ball game for the Giants has now become a 5-point deficit here for the Flyers. Stanley making a tough pass, finding Jones. A blocking foul has been called on the baseline. That's going to be the 2nd team foul against the Flyers with 5:47 to go here in the 2nd quarter.
That's the greatness of Jamel Anderson right there. He's got a bigger role, Graham Bell, on him now. You get the ball moving, you get him moving, and it's tough to match up for Royal Graham Bell to stay with the quicker Jamel Anderson in that case.
Well, he's only 5 rebounds away already from a double-double. Again, you'd expect that for Jamel Anderson.
You do. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. He does everything and every way for the Giants, and he's having a great start tonight.
Well, there's a penetration by Nick Lewis going all the way. Again, no fear whatsoever. The confidence of this man. You mentioned it, JT. He is currently fearless.
Nick Lewis started the game 1 for 6, but he is not going to stop, and that will not deter him. He's going to keep attacking. He's going to keep shooting, and that's what you love about his game.
Well, getting caught in the double team. Green kicks us out. 7-point lead to the Giants. Giants defense good at rotating, good at closing out. Flyers have to put this one up. Hail Mary three's been put up, and again, I think at this point here in Manchester, if you throw up anything and use the backboard, it's going in.
Hail Mary, come with me. That's the second one we've seen this game. We'll call it even now. That's Bristol's first one, getting back at Evan Walsh from the one earlier in the game.
Well, you played this arena. What is it about the bank in this arena?
Apparently, it's always open. But you know what? I think the rims are soft, and it's a shooter's arena for real. The backdrop is close to the basket, so the depth perception isn't that bad, as opposed to a bigger arena where it's further back.
Well, Green gets caught a double team. Follow up, he gets fouled. He will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
First opportunity at second chance points for Bristol.
Well, Basel fans, we're going to take a break as we will be back shortly.
Hey, it's Taj Green here at Crep City, Newcastle. Let's go shop and see what I find, but it's gonna be on Newcastle Eagles budget. I always wanted to hoop in these, but I feel like that'd be too heavy for me. There's always been a connection with basketballs and sneakers. I feel like, you know, it started with Jordan, and I feel like now just with the fashion and shoes, and it's worldwide. The best player to ever touch a basketball, behind me. This is gonna describe my whole team in one. Teamwork. If you think about it, we got a team full of players, real fast, athletic. This is Darius Defoe, man. He about business. If I could pick a shoe from this table, the Pandas, you know, you can wear those with anything. Like, I can fit in with anything. I just feel good, you know, being on the court because I'm still blessed to be able to play. And it's only year 2, so I feel like it's more years to come.
Welcome back, British Basketball League fans, and there is Mr. Double-Double, and that's what we expect from Jamel Anderson. Well, so all of our basketball fans currently watching, a double-double is usually when you have in 2 categories of stats, whether that's points, assists, or rebounds, where you're either 10 or over. And at the moment, Jamel Anderson, 13 points, 5 rebounds. He's 5 rebounds away from a double-double. Now, in case you could have 3 categories of stats, we have over 10 or more, and then you'd be like Jordan Taylor, where you're Mr. Triple-Double. Is that correct, JT?
Mr. Triple-Double, where'd you get that from? I don't know if I've heard that. If I'm getting triple-doubles consistently, I don't know how good our team was.
Well, you could be like Gabe Olasheni and get triple-doubles, you know?
Yeah, you know, I have a good friend, too, came out to the British Basketball League, NBA star Evan Turner, who is famous for the quadruple-double with turnovers.
Oh, we'll keep that one down. Well, the follow-up no good. Another offensive board here for the Giants. Only leading by 3 points. Walsh looking for a penetration. Kicks out to McNeil. He misses last 3. Can't get this one. Stapley just demanding the offensive board. And a 3 is good. Make it number 7 here for the Giants. They are unconscious.
Highest percentage 3 in basketball. Inside out, the offensive rebound, because that's how you practice generally. From rebounding right under the rim, it comes out in the gym, and that's just a high percentage shot.
We'll get another 3 in the corner coming from Rafa Thomas-Edwards. Unable to convert that one. Well, McNeil, Harris, Stapley, Addison, and Evan Walsh all on the floor for the home team. Giants leading by 6. Trying to make it back to a pass, but completely telegraphed it. The Flyers have a chance to chip into deficit.
Don't love that shot from Keedy Johnson in transition. Do what you do best. Get downhill. That's a contested mid-range. Put pressure on the defense. They cannot stay in front of him when he does what he's supposed to, and a boneheaded mistake there by Jalen Harris. Doesn't get the ball across and gets the 8-second violation.
Well, again, go back to that previous shot that KJ took. I think what was a little bit more concerning in regards to the Giants' transition defense was just, I mean, I'd say Rafa Thomas-Edwards was unlucky not to get the offensive ball, but nobody put a body on him.
Nobody put a body on him, but what I did like about it is that they had 3-4 guys kind of around Keedy Johnson, so that's somewhat to be expected. You do have to do all the little things, but they surrounded Keedy Johnson and did force him into that tough pull-up 15-footer.
Trying to go down the middle, finds the big man, Brad Green, finishing with ease, and that's what they're going to get from the big green machine.
Great pass, great patience there from Tevin Allison. Forced the defense to collapse on him, 3-4 guys around him. Brad Green did a great job of continuing with his role in a crafty pass.
2-possession lead to the Giants. Jamel Anderson taking down the lane and just using the contact and kissing it off the bank.
And who else? He's a mismatch nightmare, and he is making Bristol feel that.
Goes in, count it, gets the and one. And the former coach last season in Germany at the moment returning to the court with a bang.
Rafael Thomas Edwards, he said, I'm gonna make Jamel Anderson feel this. Goes right back at him aggressively, gets the and one, and that's how you neutralize one of the best players and a scorer. You have to make him guard.
Again, we showed that feature at the beginning of the game. What will life be after basketball for some of these players? For Thomas Edwards, looking at potential avenues, and you already mentioned it. If you go through a very long, successful career in professional basketball, the world is yours. But in the case of this man, it's going to be very exciting. Could he become a coach, a GM, maybe move away from basketball? It's very, very exciting.
That is the exciting part about retirement. I think it can be also scary for a lot of athletes, but I think that if you change your mindset, it is exciting. You can do literally commentating, you can do franchising, whatever it may be, and Rafael Thomas Edwards has the world in front of him.
Thomas Edwards cutting it down a three-point ball game. Finishes NCAA career at Gannon University in NCAA Division II. After playing at the University of Buffalo. The Giants here with time winding down. Harris pulls up for a tough one, can't get it. Another offensive board here for the Giants. Harris tries again from the same spot. Again, it's back-to-back three-pointers for Harris. Flyers with a chance to tie this one up. Crosses over, goes to the mid-range and slicing it down. So one-point ball game.
Who else? Tejan Lucas. He is unconscious right now for Bristol. 5 of 6 from the field, 12 points, 3 assists, and that's a tough right to left cross, fading to his left. Can't do much with that.
O'Neal goes to mid-range, rattles its way in and out. And now the Flyers have a chance to retake the lead. They haven't done this since the early moments of the first quarter. But they're going to draw a foul here, the 4th team foul against the Giants, and it will be against Harris.
We highlight different players from Bristol every game since we've been doing this. And one we haven't highlighted at the top of the broadcast is Tejan Lucas. And every time he comes in and plays really good basketball, he's been outstanding tonight.
Well, the only foul trouble concern for the Giants is Jamel Anderson. He does have 3. Well, there's a pump fake, puts up the 3. The 3 is up. It gives them a 2-point lead. The Flyers, composure coming back to life here in the second quarter. They're on an 8-0 run here at the moment, JT.
That's who we did highlight. Tevin Allison on a great pass from Tejan Lucas. Those two have really been keeping pace for the Flyers.
Well, the Flyers want a travel called against McNeil, but they're going to call, oh no, it's an offensive foul. Wow. Brian Simonian infuriated with this decision. Williams the pump fake. Tevin Allison letting it rain from the perimeter.
Kind of shot a knuckleball there, but again, showing his versatility as a scorer, a tough shot fake step in. Says he likes to model his game after Paul George, and you saw the fluidity there. Goodness gracious, Keaton Johnson above the rim. I think he could have dunked that.
I'm just about to say that. This man elevated so high, I think he just prevented himself from being on the British Basketball League top 5 plays of the week.
Man, that's what he does. Like we mentioned, he gets downhill. And that was impressive. The too little symbol after was a little disrespectful. I don't mind it, though.
Also very, well, no doubt the foul's going to be called against Lawton there, but also very impressed that Keaton Johnson found the separation to get the elevation offense on. But again, a strong move. He will go to the charity stripe here for the 3-point play.
Can a layup be on the top 5?
Well, no, I'm saying the fact that he didn't dunk, I think if he dunked that one, he would have been on the top 5. But no, good question you asked it. I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that question.
If there ever was one, I've never said that was a power layup. Like normally a layup you see Kyrie with the jelly on the top 5 or something like that, but that might be on my top 5 just out of sheer impressiveness. Tough way to pick up your 3rd foul for Austin Lawton, though. You hope he's all right.
Well, Lawton still on the ground here. Probably has just taken a slight shot. And again, you mentioned 3 fouls here for Austin Lawton. So 2 players with 3 fouls for the Giants. It's Jamel Anderson and Austin Lawton. Tejan Lucas at the moment. What a game he's been having, JT. 12 points. He has been very good so far here for the Flyers.
He's played with poise the whole game. There you see him in the mid-range. Here again, coming off the ball screen, taking his time. Mid-range again, the defense goes under. Can't do that. Here he is taking a step back from 3. And what we've seen from him in just a short time is kind of the growth in his game. Started off the season as kind of a shaky decision maker, and you see the pace of his game kind of slowing down, which, you know, Tevin Allison spoke to us before the game, and he mentioned how Coach Kapulis really coaches them on being better decision makers and letting the game come to you. So you love to see the growth from the young fellow.
Well, the Flyers now restore. They're going to turn it over again. They could make this a 7-point ball game. Johnson goes up and again finishes it, converting the defensive turnovers into transition points.
Keedy Johnson leads the Bristol Flyers in steals at 2 a game. That's also top 5 in the league, and that's what Bristol does really well. They're kind of doing what they do well again. There it is again in that passing lane, Tevin Allison. And this is what Bristol envisioned when they came into the game. Turn the pressure up, turn Manchester over, turn defense to offense, and you see a big run here by the Flyers.
Well, this game has become a roller coaster, just up and down. It was only a few moments ago. The Giants are up by 8 points. Now they find themselves down by 8. That last defensive play could be a 2-for-1 for the Flyers.
Important to finish this half strong for the Giants.
Stabley going into traffic, putting up a tough one. Now we have 5 seconds difference between game and shot clock.
Like to see them let one fly, but again, maybe a sign of growth there. They didn't have a good one. Maybe set something up. You'll get a good shot either way, and by the time it comes off the rim, hopefully there's only 2-3 seconds.
Lucas now pulls up for 3, puts it up, and again, making it a 10-point ball game. This Flyers team, they have found a group, and now we have 5 seconds. Washington going to take this one on. Almost loses it, turns it over. Well, Bristol fans, at the end of the first half, it is indeed the visitors who have a 10-point lead against the Manchester Giants. Well, JT, it's been an exciting half, but, you know, the Flyers' composure, they went down a bit, but they found themselves back in front.
Yes, they did. And again, a sign of growth. Even there, I said you should take your time and get a last-second shot there. Unless your name is Tajon Lucas, then you might as well just get the rock, clear everybody out, get a ball screen, and let it fly.
Well, Bristol fans, we're going to take a break as it's halftime, and we will be back momentarily. Side defense grew to be too much. Holmes pass out. Pinson throws it down with a bit of authority there in transition.
Well, Anderson driving to the rim, jammed in on the rebound by Lawton.
Back to 7, Ant. Oh, Sharma! Have mercy!
Yeah, Anderson needs to heave it from miles out. Oh, Jamal Anderson, are you kidding me?
And he knows it. He's big smile, rainbow shot right at the last second.
Great pass, but even better defense.
Oh my goodness! That one would have been a highlight reel.
Just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team, jumping off of buildings with the stimulation. Now I'm reaching new heights. I'ma need the off-white. Lights, camera, action, we ready to go. Alright, places, everybody, let's put on a good show. Big time.
Let's take the stage higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You
ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back, Basel fans, here to the British Basel League, in a fixture where the Manchester Giants currently host the Bristol Flyers, but it is the visitors, the Flyers, who currently lead by 10 points. Well, I'm your commentator, Josh Bennett, alongside Jordan Taylor of the London Lions, and we're going to take a look at some of the stats here from the first half. JT, what can we say about the statistics so far?
Manchester with the rebounding advantage is a big shocker. As we mentioned, Bristol leads the league in offensive rebounding and second in rebounding total, and that's a big reason why Manchester was leading most of the half. They got themselves into trouble, though. 12 turnovers, a lot of those towards the tail end of the first half, and kind of gave that lead away.
Well, at the moment, Jamal Anderson, the key player for the Manchester Giants, currently with 3 fouls. Also, Austin Lawton. But, you know, it's been very, very tough for the Giants in the final few moments of the first half.
Yeah, and that's where you kind of miss a point guard. That's where you need a Mason Bercier. You need Callum Jones. You need one of those guys to step up, even Jalen Harris. But a lot of these guards for Bristol are just attacking the guards of the Giants, getting downhill. So, one, they have to step up defensively, kind of take the challenge and slow down Tajon Lucas and Tevin Ollison, and then also on the offensive side, get under control, get them into their offense, get the ball where it's supposed to go, and the Giants should have more success if that happens.
Tajon Lucas currently leading the Flyers of 50 points, followed up by Kenny Johnson with 9, but, you know, this was just exemplifying of their play. I mean, composure's been the key thing so far for the Bristol Flyers.
Yeah, as we mentioned, a lot of growth over the last even week, 2 weeks, specifically from Tajon Lucas and Tevin Ollison. The way they're playing the ball screen, the way that they're finding guys and playing with control. And again, Tevin Ollison mentioned Coach Kapoulis has really been instrumental in helping them with that, and it's showing their growth, and you love to see it as a fan, and especially if you're Coach Kapoulis and Flyers fans.
Well, there was a three-pointer by Nick Lewis at the end of the first quarter. Confidence can be contagious for this Giants team, but, you know, they are a very emotional team. They thrive off the energy.
Yeah, and that's maybe what they need. Nick Lewis is capable of handling pressure and handling the ball, but he's also a scorer. So I think for the Giants, it's going to be important for him to find that balance and get the ball where it's supposed to go. As you see it, maybe he can even step up as a defender too, but I think they need to ask him to have more responsibility both offensively and defensively.
Well, Basel fans, we're going to show you some highlights from the league that's happened recently. Well, Dante Grantham tries a three-pointer. He can't get it. Johnson able to secure the rebound. Decker the follow-up. And Eagles come back up with it. They have numbers. Finds Defoe. One more pass, and McGill will finish it. Sharing is caring here for the Newcastle Eagles. Lions at the moment really struggling here. Oh, great question. Oh! Yes, counted. Maybe getting away with that one, but it doesn't matter because Matt Morgan, you are witnessing excellence here at the combo box. Johnson goes from no man's land. Are you kidding me? Johnson being guarded by Phillip. Tries to dish up, finds McGill, and he ties the game up at 52 apiece. Morgan going pick and roll, simple dunk down. Beautiful play there. Johnson's pick and roll with Del Pesh. Good help side defense by Solowade. Lions looking to extend as McGree comes out with it. Well, look out below, ladies and gentlemen.
He fumbles it initially, but he can elevate and still finish with a strong dunk.
Well, there's another pick and roll. They can extend this. McGill found. McGill turns it over. The bounce pass was telegraphed. But now they go up here to Nelson, who pump fakes. Grantham made 1-3. Can he make another one? And he gets it to roll in. Well, great hustle by Mo Solowade. Good recovery. Morgan left wide open. 6 threes. Make it 7. Well, Morgan, they go under the screen. Another three-pointer. Are you kidding me? Got it by Larry Austin Jr. Deep three-pointer. Almost got it. Grantham puts it up. We are going to overtime. Shenny looking to take on, again, Shenny. So you kind of feel if he tries to drag through with both hands with a Eurostep, he may have got away with that. Nelson kicks out. Solowade, big three. Good night, London. Nelson penetrates, kicks out. Phillip, another big three-pointer again. The London three-pointers, they are falling into the hoop tonight. So we thank you for joining us here at the Copper Box. London Lions, they are going to remain unbeatable here in the British Basketball League as they win 109-104 against the Newcastle Eagles. Great game. Lions, of course, as we mentioned, turning things around again. A nice little penetration by Pinson going straight to the bucket. Oh, look out below, the pick and roll comes to options. Well, Pinson looking like a baby Gino Crandall at the moment, just shaking and baking on the floor.
To a strong hand.
Well, Giants have numbers, but they gotta be quick here. The passing, oh my goodness. Well, that would have been something. Connor Washington tries to lock it at the moment. We got a buffet here from both these two teams firing back and forth at each other.
And how many times have we seen that from Connor Washington?
Well, final seconds now. Lewis hesitates. Goes all the way off the backboard. The bank is open. Dying moments in the first quarter. Nick Lewis has delivered, ladies and gentlemen. Early stages of the second quarter. Boursier trying to make a penetration. Boursier going all the way. But the help side defense proving to be too much. Holmes pass out. Pinson throws it down with a bit of authority there in transition. Harris goes for another one. Can't get this. I think Pinson may have just given 2 points to the Giants captain, I believe. No look. Pulls into the hands of Harris. Goes up to the three. Three is up. Three is good. On the lay now. Goes up. Throws it down with two hands. Giants may be getting away with a push in the back there, but they do have numbers. Walsh going all the way. Euro step time. Making it look clean. Well, Pinson made the good penetration. Unable to finish it. And again, Evan Walsh, both ends of the floor. This guy single-handedly taking over this game for the Giants. Three is up. Way off the mark. Well, they got to go up with this one. Harris getting rejected. Asprey just said, not in your house.
Wow. When they present themselves, but you don't want to rush anything either.
Well, Pinson goes up. What a rejection from Nick Lewis. Trying to go to Asprey. Asprey goes up. Gets the at one. As Nick Lewis is going to go up and finish it. Well, we would just like to say good night here to the Manchester Giants. Congratulations to the city of Manchester. Giants win this one, 94-80. Side defense proving to be too much. Holmes pass out. Pinson throws it down with a bit of authority there in transition.
Well, Anderson driving to the rim, jammed in on the rebound by Lawton.
Back to 7, and oh, Sharma! Have mercy!
Yeah, Anderson needs to heave it from miles out. Oh, Jamal Anderson, are you kidding me?
And he knows it. He's big smile, rainbow shot right at the last second.
Great pass, but even better defense.
Oh my goodness! That one would have been a highlight reel.
Just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team. Jumping off of buildings with the stimulation. Never reaching new heights. I'ma need the off-white. Last camera action, we ready to roll. Alright, faces, everybody, let's put on a good show. Big
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back, British Basketball League fans, here to Manchester for this game between the Giants and the visitors, the Bristol Flyers. Well, hello to all of our fans currently watching on the British Basketball League YouTube. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the British Basketball League. And also welcome to our fans in the United States of America at the New England Sports Network. Well, Jordan Taylor, it's been a phenomenal game, but why don't we look at some of the key fixtures coming up this week in the British Basketball League? Well, again, tomorrow will be the Classico between Newcastle and the Leicester Riders, but the big game will be your London Lions on the road to Yorkshire on Sky Sports and also on the New England Sports Network to take on the Sheffield Sharks.
Yeah, we're super excited about that one. Sheffield knocked us off once or twice last year. We had 4 losses. 1 or 2, I can't even remember right now, came to those Sheffield Sharks. We got a chance to cover Jalen Pipkins earlier this year when they played Bristol, and I got a chance to talk to him, and he was excited to see us on October 20th, and we're excited to see him as well.
Of course, it's been a very exciting week for the London Lions. A big win at home against the Newcastle Eagles, but more importantly as well, a big win in Europe on literally last night.
Yeah, it showed a lot about our team, honestly. You know, we're a little short-handed, a couple injuries here. Obviously, our superstar, former NBA vet Sam Decker coming back from injury. He was big time for us last night in Riga, and myself coming off a little injury, but Matt Morgan has really propelled us offensively. But we have a special group, we think, and we're excited to continue forward this season and bring home a lot of hardware.
Well, London Lions competing in the Euro Cup. If they win that competition, it'll guarantee them a spot in the infamous Europe's elite basketball competition, the EuroLeague, which would be a monumental achievement for the British Basketball League. Well, now the players have returned to the floor. It's currently it's the Manchester Giants against the Bristol Flyers. Giants will have the first possession here of the first half as they trail by 10 points against the Flyers.
Giants looking to dig themselves out of this 10-point hole early. Jamel Anderson with 3 fouls, so we're going to have to watch that. 8 offensive rebounds for the Giants, but 12 turnovers. They lead the league in turnovers at 16 a game, and they're going to have to clean that up to get back in this one.
Snapley goes for another 3-pointer, and again, just can't get it to drop. It's very interesting. That's something he does like to go for, but you mentioned that's just not his game.
It's not necessarily his game. I like the action from Coach Simone, and you get Brad Green out there on the floor, but you like to see Stampley get downhill to his left hand there as they cleared out the side with Jamel Anderson cutting and get to the basket.
We'll go for the penetration baseline, tries to dish off. And again, the Flyers just picking apart the Giants' defense.
And this is fun to watch. I can't lie to you. Seeing Tevin Ollison and Tejon Lucas, grow up right in front of us, the rookie and the second, third-year guy, they're playing really well off of each other right now.
12-point lead here to the Flyers. Stanley goes for another 3-pointer. Again, relentlessly trying to spread the defense, but it's just not dropping here for the Giants.
You know, at this point, it's a little puzzling, and I would imagine frustrating for Coach Simone. And he's a 29% three-point shooter. He hit his first one, but now I think he's getting a little carried away.
Another penetration, kicking this one out. Finding Brad Green under the basket. Again, it's too easy here for the Flyers.
Manchester has to get back to that aggressive defense that allowed them to build a lead. Bristol really just picking them apart right now.
Well, Walsh going for a penetration. Bit of contact going off the back, but a tough move there by the young guard.
That's what you have to see. Evan Walsh get downhill, attack Brad Green. He's not great. He's not great in the ball screen. He has slow feet. Attack him, and hit the offensive glass like you were doing early. Offensive foul there on Ollison. A questionable call on the moving screen.
I just wonder as he set that screen, does he move in with his shoulder? I'm going to let you break that one down. You are the expert after all.
It's maybe moving. I think that's more on his teammate to call it out. He did turn a little bit. It's a tough call. I don't want to criticize the refs, honestly. I don't know if I can get fined, even though I'm in the commentary role right now.
Well, traveling violation, couldn't get Stapley, changed his pivot foot. Costly turnover there. And again, you mentioned about Brian Simone and being frustrated. It's things like that that's really going to be very tough for him because, you know, you want to put players on the floor that, you know, deliver in their roles, but also they have to be accountable and not make those mistakes.
That's 12 turnovers in the first half, and a turnover like that, my man Stampley just did a little Chi-Town two-step there. You have to be focused. You have to be locked in. A tough start to the second half for him.
Well, Snapley is a very good player. There's a lot of offense to this Giants team. At the moment, he's just going to have to try and turn this around.
Absolutely, just a focus thing.
Again, getting in and around the defense. What a smooth move by Tevin Ollison.
Tevin Ollison, we mentioned PG. You see a little bit of it in his game. PG being Paul George. That's a silky, silky finger roll over Stampley.
Just looking for a post-up. Finds Snapley. 10 here on the shot clock for the Giants. Won't switch the defense. Draws a bit of contact again. You like how he went between 3 Flyers players there in the paint.
Walsh forcing the issue right now. Seems to be the only Manchester player that's kind of awake here in this second half. And again, attacking Brad Green, getting downhill. They're going to call the foul on Keedy Johnson, but that's exactly what Manchester has to do. Get in the paint, find your shooters. You're shooting 41% from 3 in the first half.
Well, Giants have taken 3 free throws here this evening. Flyers have taken 6. They've only missed 1 so far. Evan Walsh currently at the charity stripe. Started his professional career here in the British Basketball League with the Surrey Scorchers before going and playing for Rob Paternoster, the Lesser Riders. But yeah, it's good to see him come to a team where he has been playing the bulk of the minutes in the backcourt. I mean, we know the kind of player he is. He's a very quick tempo guard, end-to-end. Probably one part of his game, JT, that I would like to see improve, just to be more of a consistent three-point shooter, probably.
Yeah, definitely. I think that you're 100% right. You love to see him be able to build on his game and get the reps to be aggressive. He was on a stacked Leicester team last year, so didn't really get a lot of minutes. If he can turn into a three-point shooter, he's also a guy for Manchester who can set the tone for them offensively.
Well, going under the ball screen, going for the mid-range, but they get their offensive rebound. The Giants again scrambling here on defense. Royal Graham Bell goes up. It's another point inside the paint for the Flyers.
The 4th offensive rebound of the game for Bristol, but they capitalize off of it. 4 second chance points only, and that's definitely something you can't have if you're Manchester.
Well, Harris turning it over. Flyers have numbers. Finds Graham Bell. Bell goes up. Foul has been drawn against Evan Walsh, so Flyers are going to the charity stripe with a 14-point lead with under 7 minutes here in the 3rd quarter.
Defense to offense, and who else? Tajon Lucas out in transition, finding Royal Graham Bell. Really smart foul there by Evan Walsh. Send Graham Bell to the free throw line, where he's a 74% free throw shooter, but you got to make him earn it.
Well, there's Austin Lord. He left the game after committing that foul in the first half, which was a 3-point play for the Flyers, but again, without him, they have an even smaller lineup, but he does have 3 fouls. Jamel Anderson also has 3 fouls for the Giants.
The bench getting really, really thin over there for Coach Simonian. Missing 2 big men in William Lee and legend Roberton. See them there. Stylish he is, ain't he? Stylish for a big fella.
Yes, I think anybody's more stylish than me these days, but yeah, credit their the ultimate swag in the bag. But another turnover. Anderson getting back, doesn't go for the block, and now it's an 18-point ball game to the Bristol Flyers. They have taken control of this one.
Taking control off the back of 3 early turnovers for the Giants in this half. That brings them up to 15, right around their average of 16, which is last in the league. And again, who else? Tajon Lucas in that passing lane.
Well, Borsier much needed 3 points for the Giants. Slicing it back down to a 15-point deficit.
Simple as that. Get a shot at the basket every single time down should be the key for Manchester to get back in this one.
Stanley having to defend Brad Green. Goes for a cross court. Again, Anderson overcommitted on the double team, but again, they get away with this one. Now they try to push. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, look out below. Looked like it was going to be good recovery defense by Roel Graham Bell. It's going to be a foul and 2 shots here for Jamel Anderson.
Great hustle there by Royal Graham Bell. And that's what allowed Manchester to build their lead in the first half. Playing sound defense. You mentioned Jamel Anderson over help, but you got to understand Royal Graham Bell, a 30% three-point shooter. He closed out short. You clear the glass, you take off running, and that's where Manchester's at their best.
Young fans enjoying the occasion here at the Manchester Performance Center. Currently, Jamel Anderson here at the free throw line. He did a podcast recently with Gino Crandall and Patrick Whelan where, you know, they talked about what it's like to be a professional basketball player and why they make the decisions in clubs they sign for. You know, he talks about it was a tough decision for him to leave the Cheshire Phoenix, who he played for last season, but it was really for his family, for his wife Georgia and their new child, of course. That goes, yeah, that comes a lot into your career. You played in Turkey, Israel, Japan, Romania. sometimes it's always down to your agent, but you have to make those tough choices where you want to play.
You know, Jamel Anderson's 33, I'm 34. When you get to that age, honestly, I think you start making decisions where you're going to be comfortable, like you said, for yourself, for your family. A big reason I chose London was opportunities like this, as well as to be able to play with friends like Sam Decker and other Lions that I've become good friends with. So you love to see Jamel Anderson kind of mixing that personal with basketball.
Well, Giants forcing the turnover against Brad Green. Stanley goes for another three-pointer. This time, it pays off. He cuts it down to an 11-point deficit. Again, JT, he is relentless for going for the perimeter. And what's interesting here is now it's forced the Flyers to call a timeout with 5:33 to go here in the third quarter.
A quick 7-0 run. My cousin told me when I was young, my cousin and my uncle, when you shoot till you get hot, and when you get hot, keep shooting. So I don't know if Stampley's related to me or what, but he's going to let that thing fly. You know, that's his fifth three-point attempt. I believe he's 2 for 5, which is, I mean, you know, that's 1 point per possession. So if you're shooting 40%, what can you say, I guess?
Well, big week coming up in the British Basketball League. Tomorrow night at 7:30 will be Le Classico, as Newcastle Eagles and the Leicester Riders, two of the most successful teams in the history of the British Basketball League. They will head off at the Newcastle Virtu Motors Arena. While the big game, of course, will be Sheffield Sharks hosting in their new arena against Jordan Taylor's London Lions. That will be live on Sky Sports, as well as being shown on New England Sports Network in the United States of America. Surrey Scorchers, they host Manchester Giants on Saturday, so good for the Giants. They'll get a day's rest tomorrow to prepare for that journey down south. While the Flyers, on Saturday, they will host the Newcastle Eagles. So a lot of action coming up this weekend in the British Basketball League. We'll also have games on Sunday. Caledonia Gladiators at 3 p.m. in Scotland. They will be hosting the Sheffield Sharks. And you can watch these all live on the British Basketball League's YouTube. And of course, finish off with the London Lions. They will host. It will be a Southern England derby against Surrey Scorchers. And the final game of the weekend will be at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Cheshire Phoenix, they host the Plymouth City Patriots, all live on the British Basketball League YouTube.
Newcastle versus Leicester should be a good game. Newcastle's been struggling, but they have a lot of talent over there, just trying to find a way to mix all those ball handlers and scorers together. And as far as the London Lions, if you ain't heard yet, make sure you go check out my man, Must-See TV, Matt Morgan. He fills it up, leading the league in scoring at 25 points per game. And he really is the Steph Curry of the British Basketball League. He really does. It doesn't miss when he gets open from 3.
Ball's keeping this one alive, but again, the Giants forcing the Flyers at the turnovers. Now it's another one again. Quick defense. We haven't seen this with the Giants. That's an 11-0 run, I think, JT.
11-0 run. Shout out to Evan Walsh being the catalyst for this Giants team. He's attacking the paint. He's the aggressor for them right now, and he's really the energy for them. And then Nick Lewis, obviously, he's got to get involved in the fun with a nice steal out of the backcourt.
6-0 on the shot clock for the Flyers. They led by 18 points. Now it's just 7. Twisting Tony going for the tough spin out. It's going to be a 24-second violation. I don't know. Did the ball touch the rim?
I don't think it did touch the rim.
But then there's no protest from these Giants players. Well, Basel fans, 4:40 to go, and we're going to take a short break and be back very shortly.
Hey, it's Taj Green here at Crep City, Newcastle. Let's go shop and see what I find, but it's gonna be on Newcastle Eagles budget. I always wanted to hoop in these, but I feel like that'd be too heavy for me. There's always been a connection with basketballs and sneakers. I feel like, you know, it started with Jordan, and I feel like now just with the fashion and shoes, and it's worldwide. The best player to ever touch a basketball, behind me. This gonna describe my whole team in one. Teamwork. If you think about it, we got a team full of players, real fast, athletic. This is Darius Defoe, man. He about business. If I could pick a shoe from this table, the Pandas, you know, you can wear those with anything. Like, I can fit in with anything. I just feel good, you know, being on the court because I'm still blessed to be able to play. And it's only year 2, so I feel like it's more years to come.
Currently live here in Manchester, the Giants trying to make a bit of a comeback here against the Bristol Flyers. A good response from Brian Simoni's players. They went on an 11-0 run, Jordan Taylor. And again, it's been very inspiring, Basil, but all his credit down to the Giants defense.
To the Giants defense and their offense for not turning the ball over. Defensively creating turnovers, offensively getting a shot at the basket every single time. And that's key. You don't even mind the foul here defensively on Brad Green, as he's only a 45% free throw shooter, but he's been knocking them down tonight as he's 2 for 3 at the line, 3 for 4 now. Putting it back to a 9-point ball game, the Flyers do have 10 turnovers. But again, it's the Giants who lead this one. Again, you talked about them being one of the most prominent teams at turning the ball over here in the British Basketball League. Both teams missing only 1 free throw so far this evening. And there's the 16th turnover for the Flyers. Johnson's going to go all the way, and again, Jamel Anderson didn't want to pick up his 4th personal foul. Smart move by Anderson. Great defense by Keedy Johnson. His 4th swipe of the game. He's 2 a game, and here we go. Manchester turning the ball over again. That's what got him into trouble. Lack of discipline there. 17th turnover, and again, it's amazing how quickly the Flyers are able to change the momentum of this game as they go on a very, very good run here and forcing Brian Simoni to call another quick timeout. That's just a momentum killer. You see a really tough finish there by Keedy Johnson. A good no call by the ref, though. I think he got away with a little push off there on Evan Walsh. But, you know, Manchester, you fight back. You go on an 11-0 run, you cut it to 7, and then you have 2 turnovers, and it goes back to 13. That really just kills the vibe of the team. It kills the energy. And, you know, it's something as a coach where you can't really coach that. It's something that, you know, you preach discipline, you preach ball control, but only players, it's a lack of focus, really. Well, there are the stats for Tajon Lucas. 4 assists away from a double-double, and maybe 7 rebounds away from a potential triple-double. As you mentioned, you've highlighted, he has been the game changer in this one for the Bristol Flyers. As a point guard myself, I am ecstatic to see his growth. I got to watch him play 2 weeks ago right alongside you. They got a win against Sheffield, and he was a little erratic at times in his decision-making. He played well, but tonight I think he's been a very high-level point guard. He's been in the pick and roll. He's not forcing anything. He's taking his time. If he doesn't have it, he's bringing it back, getting downhill, finding guys. Only 2 turnovers to 6 assists for him and 17 points to go along with it. Tremendous decision-making and shot selection. Yeah, the Giants are a team that, you know, they really like to push the tempo. Very emotional, of course, and very high energy on defense. Is it fair to say one thing they do lack is just maybe a little bit of continuity and structure in the half-court offense? Oh, absolutely. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 0.75 points per possession in the half court. That's 75 points every 100 possession compared to 1.3 in transition. So really it just comes down to a lack of patience and someone to control the offense. As you see right there, Nick Lewis got him into something. You get a good shot or a good action and a good layup from Stampley under the basket. I mean, that was probably the most composed, disciplined half-court set we've seen them so far in this game. But, you know, if they adapt that into their style, they could be a very good team here in the league. And I think that's the frustrating part for Coach Simoni. You know, you see him turn the ball. You see the flashes. You see the ability and the possibilities. But you have to take care of the Rockets. Keedy Johnson, not really the best 3-point shooter, but, you know, he's getting steals. He's getting downhill. And, you know, that's what happens when you let scorers get easy layups. They get in a good rhythm. Well, again, that takes him up to 16 points, just 1 behind Lucas. Those 2 currently leading the scores here for the Flyers. Leading scorer for the Manchester Giants, Jamel Anderson, with 16 points, but no other player to be in double digits. Evan Walsh with 9, and Nick Stampley has 8. But Stampley currently, well, again, Stampley's one of those players you kind of look at his game. Of course, there's a lot he offers for you, but you know, it's very interesting that he's kind of an undersized big, but he's almost like he's trying to adapt his game from the perimeter a little bit more. Yeah, absolutely. And now here's where I think you can go to the perimeter a little bit more when you have the matchup with Roll Graham Bell. He's a little bit bigger. He can probably match your physicality. But when you have Brad Green, you have to attack. As you see another good half-court set and find Jamel Anderson, who continues his excellence. Well, simple pick and roll there with McNeil and Jamel Anderson. And one thing you know with him is, since that bull screen, you just got to throw a lob to the big man because he is so good at finishing around the bucket. But again, it's still a 12-point deficit. Giants need a stop here. Cross-court Samuels in the corner, takes a 3, and again, unorthodox shooting form, but gets it to go. Corey Samuels is a 22% three-point shooter. And again, when you allow a team to get turnovers and get in transition and get a rhythm, everything starts going again. There you go, Manchester getting it down court easy, getting a layup. Bristol has to tighten up their defense. You like that from Stampley. Good hands here on defense. And this is what the Giants will give you. The energy, the emotion,
As McNeil comes up with a steal, but that previous play by Nick Stampley, you like to see that penetration baseline, draw the defense, and a simple backdoor cut from McNeil. That's the continuity that they need to be a competitive team.
For sure, no question.
Well, Keedy Johnson just getting the shooters wrong. He is cooking at the moment.
He's going, and that what it was the 2 to 3 steals he's had in this second half. Relatively quiet in the first half, but that's what makes Bristol so good. You have the guards and Olesen and Lucas, and Keedy Johnson just kind of gets to his buckets on his own.
Stampley goes for the tough fadeaway. Nobody going in for an offensive rebound. Well, Keedy Johnson, joint top scorer in this game along with Jamel Anderson, 18 points. Well, Leslie Smith maybe taking a few steps there, but Bristol find another three-pointer. That's way off the mark. Goes out of bounds at 1:37 to go here in the third quarter.
The problem with Manchester right now is their inability to be consistent. You see Keedy Johnson, 19 points there. I think 18 points for Keedy Johnson on the night. And he's been very, very aggressive. You look up and he's leading the league leading the Flyers in scoring.
Well, Lewis trying to go in and around the defense, goes in, draws a contact. He'll go to the charity stripe. Well, Nick Lewis just having a bit of a word here with the referees, but getting a tough penetration here by the former Sheffield Shark.
Nick Lewis is good enough, more than capable, of kind of taking the reins of this Manchester offense and getting them together, both mixing his talents between a scorer and a facilitator. And that's what a great timing there on getting in the paint.
Well, Keedy Johnson trying to play a case with the referee that he felt there was a hook on the penetration, but in this case it won't matter. Lewis with the chance now to cut this down to a 10-point deficit. Giants want to get this down to single digits going into the fourth quarter. As Lewis converts a three-point play. 1:15 to go. Bristol's led by as many as 18 points. Giants here in the third quarter got it back to 7. Seeloff finds Leslie Smith, but they're going to call a foul on the ground. That's only the 13th foul against the Giants. Not a bad foul there by, that's against Mason Bossier.
Bossier or Lawson? Hope it was Bossier. Yeah, Bossier. Great foul by Bossier. Not allowing the layup, not in the bonus, make Bristol earn every point.
Johnson being defended by Lewis. Lewis going over the ball screen. Johnson goes up. The follow in is good as Leslie Smith just cleaned it up.
Leslie Smith, they're averaging 2 offensive rebounds a game, but that play was made by Keedy Johnson getting downhill, and Jamel Anderson, the vet, keeping Manchester in the game. That's a tough pull-up 3.
Well, that is a potential 2-for-1 here for the Giants, because if they get a stop on defense, they can go for the very last shot here in the third quarter. Bristol's been good so far. 9-point deficit.
Might end up even being a 3-for-2 there.
Leslie Smith almost turning it over, but just able to regain possession. Pump fakes, takes the 3 off the dribble, can't get it. Offensive board, Johnson finds Smith, and again does. That's gonna be a 24-second violation. Leslie Smith just had an early Christmas present.
I think the ball, was that a Christmas present or was that Cole?
That might be trick or treat in that case.
That was good to
Happy
say.
Thanksgiving, I don't know, but look at the fun. That's Happy Thanksgiving.
He's gonna get up on that rim. One thing he's gonna do is you see the emotion and the big slam from Leslie Smith.
But now here we talk about the 3-for-2, as you mentioned. So final shot again, JT, I'm gonna ask you, looks like this, well, maybe one player is gonna be taking this last shot. I think we both know who that might be.
Yeah, it's probably, well, 2. Yeah, Nick Lewis or Jamel. Yep, Nick Lewis is gonna let that fly. That's what he does. He only shoots 28% from 3, but he is a great shooter, in part because of his shot selection. Double dribble there by Keedy Johnson. And there, as we said, the 3-for-2. I told you.
I tell you, you told me that one, but when I said to you, who's taking the last shot, I'm just gonna say great minds think alike. We both knew Nick Lewis is taking the last shot. There's me thinking he's taking that one a bit too early, but it doesn't matter because this guy's confidence, it is contagious.
You know, my basketball sense told me Jamel Anderson might take the last shot, but yeah, you were definitely right on that one.
Well, Bristol fans, currently a 6-point lead to the Flyers. They've led by 18 at the moment. We're gonna take a break as we will be back momentarily.
to 7 and... Oh, Sharma! Have mercy!
Yeah, Anderson needs to heave it from miles out. Oh, Jamal Anderson, are you kidding me?
And he knows it. He's big smile, rainbow shot right at the last second.
Wow, great pass, but even better defense.
Oh my goodness! That one would have been a highlight reel.
Just like baby, I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team. Jumping off of buildings with the stimulation. Never reaching new heights, I'ma need the off-white. Last camera action, we ready to roll. Alright, faces, everybody, let's put on a good show. Big time!
Welcome back to all the Basel fans tuned in here for this British Basel League matchup between our hosts, the Manchester Giants, and the visitors, the Bristol Flyers. The Giants trail by 18 points in the third quarter, but the Giants, it's almost like Jeff Goldblum would say, find a way here, JT.
Find a way, just hang around and see what you can do. Obviously the underdog in this matchup, but you know they're hanging around right here. They got to get back on the defensive glass. Bristol got back to their bread and butter in that third quarter.
Austin Lewin with a rejection against Leslie Smith. Smith wants us in the post. Pump face goes up. Too easy. Gets the ad one. Austin Lewin made a great defensive play on the previous shot, but just jumped up in the air. Smith just put the moves on him.
Tough move there by Leslie Smith. Fourth foul on Austin Lawton. Been a tough night for him, but again, the offensive rebounding from Bristol. That's their 9th of the game, the 6th of the second half. And Manchester did a great job in the first half of keeping them off the glass. Bristol now getting back to what they do best, first in the league at offensive rebounding.
Well, Smith a chance to make this a 9-point ball game. The one thing for the Giants, I mean, you've known this so many times in your career when you played at such high level. Sometimes when you're trying to make a comeback, you get a little bit closer, but then a play like that, does that diminish your confidence, or you just, what is it that keeps you in this game, in the case of the Giants?
I think it gives you a choice, honestly. You have a choice to either fold and get frustrated, because it is frustrating, but you're still right here. You're at home, you're in a position to win the game. We'll see how they respond, and that's not the shot you necessarily want, but you got to get back to what you do well.
Again, goes straight down the defense. Missed a wide open contested layup, but probably should have finished that one. But Jamal Anderson not contested because he doesn't want to pick up a 4th personal foul.
And Jacob would have been smart to know that he has 3 fouls and kind of gone right at him and forced his hand. He should have known he could have taken his time.
Well, I think a technical is going to be called here against Austin Lawton for protesting to the officials. He felt he was pushed in the back. Now watch Lawton here. There's minimal contact there, but JT, does that justify pushing the back in your mind?
Yeah, that's tough. That's something that I think could go either way. I think as a big man, you got to be stronger than that. I'm a guard, so I'm pushing people in the back every chance I get. But you hate to see that. I believe that's his 5th personal foul as well.
Well, that is just very costly for the Giants. Again, they're going to be. Got to beg the question: does Jamal Anderson go to the 5?
Yeah, I think you come back with Stampley. I think when Stampley's been patient offensively, he brings you a sense of physicality inside that Bristol has been taking advantage of. I think when Lawson's been on the court today, or Lawton, excuse me, has been on the court today.
Back to a 10-point deficit. Flyers out of the ball. Thomas Edwards with a rock in his hands. And they go for a deep 3-pointer. Can't get this one, but Corey Samuels, shortest player on the floor, contesting for an offensive rebound. That's just hot hustle and desire right there from Corey Samuels.
That's a play that deflates you. You asked about the last one, the offensive rebound. That's a one when you have a guy like that, the 6-foot guard, doesn't play a lot of minutes. But shout out to him, and that's a great identity of Coach Kapoulis' team.
Well, jump ball was called. Possession arrow went in favor for the Giants. They trail by 10. Be careful, they've been called already for 1 8-second violation. Anderson currently here on the point guard. Stampley back in the game for Lawton. It's going to be yet again another turnover. Backcourt violation. So to all of our fans watching who are unaware with the rules of basketball, 8-second violation as the Giants have been called already tonight. You have to get the ball from a dead ball over the halfway line in 8 seconds. JT, it used to be a 10-second rule back in the day, but they changed it, haven't they?
I am unfortunately old enough to remember the
Hey,
10-second rule.
I'm only a year younger than you.
Yeah. Both of us then, we're aging ourselves a little bit. But yeah, 8 seconds, I've actually been guilty a couple times myself of walking the ball across, trying to play it too cool and looking up, seeing the ref blow the whistle. I think that's got to be one of the most embarrassing calls in basketball when no one's pressuring you to get called for 8 seconds.
0 points this evening from Austin Lawton, 2 rebounds. He's a good player, but it just hasn't been his night here. Austin goes to the post up. Again, he gets a drop, and again, continuing to pile on the pressure against the Giants. He will go to the charity stripe. Too big, too strong, and JT simply, Tevin Allison is just too good.
Tevin Allison has been too good all night long. Again, that's a little bit of DeRozan. He mentioned he likes to watch Paul George, Jamal Crawford, and DeMar DeRozan. That time right there, channeling his inner DeRozan. He's been really good for the Flyers all night long.
He definitely made the comparison of his post-up game like DeMar DeRozan, but also the mid-range as well. Also like Paul George, he loves to get off the dribble, gets to 15 feet. Such a smooth player.
Yeah, I would say the fluidity of his game resembles George, and kind of the versatility as a scorer resembles DeMar DeRozan.
Well, contested three-pointer, back to a 12-point ball game. Giants got it back down to 6 at the beginning of the quarter. Haven't scored so far here in the fourth. That's why I like to call it a hippity-hoppity, but again, it's a turnover, Corey Samuels, and that's frustrating for him because, you know, he is such a bright player for the future. At some point, I'd like to see him try to really break in to a Great Britain team to contest for a FIBA Eurobasket or a World Cup qualifiers. But, you know, still a lot of potential, a lot of promise, but a long way for him to go in his career.
Yeah, and what you love about him is he's always aggressive when he comes in. That's you can teach everything else. You can't really teach aggressiveness or passiveness. So that's one thing you love to see from Corey Samuels.
Well, Anderson currently with the ball in his hands. Von McNeil. Lewis looking to penetrate, goes up, avoids the block, and again, getting it to roll. A strong drive by Nick Lewis.
Nick Lewis is such a gifted scorer. I love when he's getting downhill and he's got great anticipation. The second time he's stolen a pass under the rim like that. And that's the three-point shot that even though he missed it, you love to see him take that one. He's a very gifted shooter, but only shoots 28% because of his shot selection.
There's a lot of things this Giants team needs to work on, but again, I love about them. How many times have they stolen the ball off an inbound pass after scoring? Those are positive signs for the Giants.
Positive signs indeed. You would just love to see the consistency come through. You see Nick Lewis clearing the glass right there, but consistency is going to be good and a tough in and out move. Mercier, I didn't know he had that.
I think he tried to dunk that one. He did that in a previous game, but again, they'll take the 2 points. 4-0 run for the Giants.
Tough move.
6:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, the Flyers turned this game around the second. They took an 8-point lead after trailing by 8. Since then, have never relinquished the lead. Samuels goes up. Dime moments the shot clock. Can't get it. No foul calls. The Giants with a bit of momentum here. We'll see, looking for Anderson. Doesn't curl off the screen quick enough. He's made 2 threes. Yeah, doesn't get this one. Only Nick Lewis going in for an offensive board.
Got a mismatch there. You got to get back downhill, get in the paint. There's plenty of time still left on the shot clock.
Well, Leslie, there's a bit of contact there. No foul calls. That's going to be another turnover. Back-to-back TOs here for the Bristol Flyers. I don't think he's going to get anything on that case.
Great no call there. Kind of looked like a foul in real time, but you know Leslie Smith is too big to be flopping and looking for a foul. You want to see him just play through the contact there and go finish with smaller players around the basket.
Well, to all of our viewers in the United States of America on the East Coast of New England, currently watching on the New England Sports Network, a little bit of history about the Manchester Giants. Stanley goes for another 3, and again, it's a tough shot because nobody goes for an offensive ball. But going back to what I was saying, this franchise, the Manchester Giants, in the late 90s, early 2000s, were coached by NBA champion Nick Nurse, who is the current head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, and also at the time in the 99-2000 season had one Phil Handy as one of their key players, and he's also an NBA champion and current assistant coach of the Lakers. Well, Giants decide to give up an offensive rebound. And that just tells the story of how this game has gone for them, JT.
They just can't get over the hump. They keep coming back, keep fighting, keep clawing. But the turnovers, shot selection, and offensive rebounds are keeping them. That's a good three-point shot. That's what Coach Simonian wants to see. You get the ball moving. A great cutout by Jamel Anderson is, once again, he's doing everything. And there McNeil gets his feet set and gets a good look at the basket.
Well, Green's going to get called for the offensive foul. Good defense. Well, Basel fans currently watching here. 4:58 to go. 84-77 for the Bristol Flyers. We are going to take a short break as we will be back momentarily.
Hey, it's Taj Green here at Crep City, Newcastle. Let's go shop and see what I find, but it's gonna be on Newcastle Eagles budget. I always wanted to hoop in these, but I feel like that'd be too heavy for me. There's always been a connection with basketballs and sneakers. I feel like, you know, it started with Jordan, and I feel like now just with the fashion and shoes, and it's worldwide. The best player to ever touch a basketball, behind me. This gonna describe my whole team in one. Teamwork. If you think about it, we got a team full of players, real fast, athletic. This is Darius Defoe, man. He about business. If I could pick a shoe from this table, the Pandas, you know, you can wear those with anything. Like, I can fit in with anything. I just feel good, you know, being on the court because I'm still blessed to be able to play. And it's only year 2, so I feel like it's more years to come.
Basketball tells you a lot about someone's personality, and Jamel Anderson has done everything for the Giants tonight. Super versatile, and you don't see a lot of pros coming out of Nottingham, England, and he mentioned that he was laser focused on making that dream a reality. Not only has he gone above and beyond on the court and in the weight room, but he went and got his degree at London Borough University just to make his parents proud. His hard-working selflessness really comes through in his game. He's a joy to get to watch.
That's an impressive story, but I think what's more impressive is your British accent. I was really impressed how you pronounce Nottingham.
That's months of practice, and shout out my man Josh Ward Hibbert, aka the Junkyard Dog, as I like to call him. He's also a pro from Nottingham. So that's a lot of time spent and a lot of being laughed at by Luke Nelson as well.
I think the fans of the East Midlands will definitely appreciate your cultural references. Of course, 2 very good players, but a great performance tonight from Jamel Anderson. Just over 4:20 to go. A 7-point ball game. Giants, again, trying to fight their way back in this, trailing by 7 points. Stanley looking for a handoff. Stanley's made 1 3, goes for another one. That's a big-time tray ball. And JT, you'd said to me at halftime when we went for a coffee, the 3-point percentage of this team, it's actually quite impressive.
It's crazy. They're shooting 41% from 3, given the shot selection that they have. Stampley right now is 3 for 6 or 3 for 7, but that's a good 3. And what they have to do is understand the difference in the 3s that they take. When the ball moves inside out, touch the paint, those are high percentage 3s. As you see a big defensive stop, might have been a technical foul there, but
wow, yeah, again, I'm surprised the referee hasn't reacted because I don't, knowing the kind of player Roel Graham-Bell is, I mean, he is a true class, a world-class professional. I don't think that was a frustration play. I think that was just love the ball. But again, let's have a look at the replay here. Whoa.
That was intentional. I can tell you.
I have to agree with you now. But the thing is, maybe because I know him a bit better, he's not that kind of personal player.
Maybe a smart move by Coach Kapulis to sit him down there for a second, as he has a word with him.
I mean, he is just one of the ultimate teammates you want to have in your team. He's a hard worker. Yeah, everyone has a frustration moment, and again, knowing him personally, that's not the kind of person he is.
Both of those guys, Leslie Smith and Graham Bell, kind of looking like the Bash brothers over there. I don't know how many people will understand the Mighty Ducks reference, but that's a Minnesota special where I'm from. But those two are bruisers, man. You love to have guys like that on your team.
Neal's made another one. Puts this one up, can't get it. Anderson competing for the offensive board. Giants come up with it. This team living and dying from the perimeter at the moment.
Living and dying at the perimeter, but the ball moves side to side. You made the defense work, and that puts you in a position to get an offensive rebound, so you can live with that. That's a tough shot. But wow. Wow.
This might be the most exciting team to watch in the British Basketball League.
Man. Same stuff that makes you laugh, makes you cry.
British Basketball League 2K at the moment. Again, what was once an 18-point ball game. Giants have got themselves back in it. Keedy Johnson with the ball in his hands. 5 seconds now. Coming off a ball screen. Green is wide open. There's a pump fake. Gets rejected. That's going to be a 24-second violation. The Giants have turned this game around, and they have a chance, JT, to either take the lead or tie the game up as they trail by 2 points with 2:45 to go.
And the key is stick to what you have been doing to get you back in the game. Down 18 at one point. What got you back in the game? Moving the ball side to side, getting in the paint, offensive rebound, aggressive defense. If you're Coach Simonian, you're really just hoping your team can put this in a bottle and capture it.
Lewis coming off the ball screen. There's a three. He's fouled. You kind of thought that was going in, but the Bristol Flyers, JT choking under intense pressure from the emotion and the energy of this inspired Giants team.
You know, as an athlete, I absolutely hate when you hear the word choke, but, you know, I can't necessarily disagree with you on that. Tevin Allison, no business fouling Nick Lewis, but to Nick Lewis's credit, he has done a great realization by him to know that he's going to have guys flying to him because you know how good of a shooter he is.
I mean, it's very interesting because, you know, Brian Simonian is a very good basketball coach. We've seen that, you know, at one point working in the NBA G League prior to the name change when it was the NBA Development League with the Anaheim Arsenal, but it's very tough because it will take time for his players to really settle into a system. But when you look at this Giants team, I find them quite exciting. But the thing I like about them, why it's so exciting, it's like the Wild Wild West. Everything is just very unpredictable, but it's exciting basketball to watch.
It's exciting basketball to watch when things are going well. Like I said, same things that make you laugh, make you cry. I'm sure Coach Simonian, again, you just hope that these guys can find the consistency in that wild, wild west mentality, and you have something, you have a good product then.
There's only one other team I can compare them to, you know, having commentated FIBA International Basketball, was the Colombian national team, with players such as Brian Angola. It's just the same thing. Players come together, you got shooters, you got people that put on, like, you know, very relentless defense, but it's just good to watch. 11-0 run here for the Giants.
Yep, and again, I think you're kind of showing your basketball knowledge there. Colombian national team, Anaheim Arsenal. I don't even know what the Anaheim Arsenal is.
Well, I actually need to remember what team they are, because I think they are now a rebranded team in the NBA G League, but again, I'm going way into my international basketball. Can't focus in on the British Basketball League. You know, 2:50 to go. The Giants trail by 18 points. You know, this game could go right down to the wire.
We'd love to see Jamel Anderson just chase that down, but again, another great defensive possession. You have to repeat that again. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hopefully the Giants players realize that and turn up the defense here. If you're Bristol, I think you want to get the ball in the hands of Tevin Allison or Tejon Lucas.
Well, both teams do have one foul to give. Allison comes off the ball screen. Has to force this one up. Again, another 24-second violation. No, they call it continuation. Giants with a 1-point lead. We're on to 2 minutes. This team's had to really dig deep. At times, they've come out and pulled some magnificent plays to get themselves back in this one. And now it's about composure here. 3 seconds down. Harris pulls up. Big three. Again, JT, the emotion, the energy, probably got the best of him on that one.
Jalen Harris started the possession off with good patience and trying to get them into a set. As you see, Bristol gets the ball where they want it to go into the hands of Tejon Lucas as he gets downhill off the bad shot selection. But Bristol had the ball. Jalen Harris was doing a great job of setting up the offense. Jamel Anderson had Brad Green in a mismatch on the left wing. Jalen Harris has to be able to recognize that. Jamel Anderson recognized it. He has to be a little more demonstrative. But that's a matchup that's a nightmare for Brad Green. And that's what you talk about if you're Coach Simone. You have to be able to take advantage of those situations if you want to win tight basketball games.
Well, going back to that previous foul given away, the reason why that's so disappointing, that's their last foul to give away here in the fourth quarter. I mean, granted, if this game goes either way or goes into overtime, you know, Bristol, granted, good thing for them is they do have one foul to give.
Bristol is in the bonus, actually. Manchester has one foul to give. But that one to Jean Lucas is going to go to the line on a shooting foul there.
One shot and a rebound. We've got to rebound the basketball. On offense, composure. They will try to press. Make sure we have the 2-1-2 setup. Okay, one of the guys is inbound the basketball. Hey, let's go now. Win the ball game. Win the ball game. Here we go. Let's go. Here we go, fellas. We're in the penalty. Just start the fouls. We're in the penalty.
Well, JT, one thing he just said there, look, I think he knows that his players are going to step up and make the 2 free throws, but he said one bad shot and 1 rebound. He anticipates that the Giants are going to go for a quick three-pointer possibly, and all he wants is good defense, and then to come up with that rebound, and he knows the game will be theirs.
Absolutely, and if that's the case, that's great insight from Coach Kapoulis. I think you have to get back to what Bristol does, and that's putting pressure on the Giants. The Giants do not handle pressure well, and that's part of what forced Jalen Harris into that bad decision there.
Well, again, the terminology used by Coach Andreas Kapoulis, quite as the truth hurts. One bad shot, he said. He's not lying, though, is he?
That's tough when that's your reputation on around the league, when you have the opposing coach expecting you to take bad shots. You know, a chance for Manchester to kind of turn that perception around here.
Well, steps up and misses his first free throw of the night. They've now missed 3 free throws collectively as a unit. But Lucas has to make this one, trying to tie the game up. 1:31 to go. Missed them both, but an offensive board. And the putback is good. Well, JT, Giants at the wrong moment. They finished their last donut, and nobody called box out.
Very, very fitting situation for both Bristol and Manchester. The inconsistency continues, and Bristol's going to beat up that offensive glass.
That's what Kapoulis talked about. One bad shot and a rebound. That's what they need. And the Giants turn the narrative around. There's the pump fake. Anderson is going to get called for a charge. Yeah, good defense by Keedy Johnson.
That's good both ways. Jamel Anderson, great offensive set. You get a clear out for Jamel Anderson, gets his defender in the air, but a really heads-up defensive play by Keedy Johnson to step over and take the charge. Hell of a move. Spin move out of there, get downhill. Keedy Johnson comes over and takes it in the chest outside the restricted area. Just good basketball all around.
We just saw a piece on LaQuincy Rideau last week about jazz and basketball. Flyers fans currently enjoying the occasion, but that move by Jamel Anderson was a bit jazzy itself, a bit of a spin move there.
Sweet feet by Jamel Anderson. His 4th foul, too. He's got to be careful on this end.
Over a minute to go. Giants, no more fouls to give. Wilson throws down to Brad Green. Green goes up, misses it, gets his own rebound. Again, Giants get away with something good there, but it's the 2nd time now they've given it away, an offensive board for the Flyers.
Beautiful feed from Tevin Ollison, and a great foul actually by Stampley. Put a 45% free throw shooter at the line. Brad Green has been good tonight. He's 3 of 4, but can he step up and knock these down with the pressure?
The man who played his university basketball at UC Irvine, again, another missed free throw. 3 consecutive missed free throws here from the Flyers, but JT, the way this game has gone, if you miss another one, they might fancy an offensive board again.
You have to have your box out scheme set here. See, they got Jalen Harris stepping down on Graham Bell as he was late. Thankfully, Green made it because I think Graham Bell was going to be in position for offensive rebound.
2-point lead to the Flyers. Giants looking to tie this game up. Anderson looking for an isolation. Anderson goes down. Tries the contact. He'll go to the free throw line. I'd like to see the replay of that one because it could have been another potential charge. Well, here's the outside defense. Coming for Keedy Johnson. Well, that would have been a blocking foul because he was moving.
He was moving, and that's exactly what Manchester missed a minute ago. I'm not sure how Brad Green ended up on Jamel Anderson there to start the possession. That's not a matchup that's in favor of Bristol, and a great recognition by Manchester.
Well, he's got to make these 2 free throws. Giants have only missed 1 so far. They're now 11 for 12 from the charity stripe. Jamel Anderson now 3 for 4. He's got to hold his composure. Takes a deep breath. Makes them both. We're all locked in at 87 apiece with 45 seconds to go in the game. Bristol used up the last foul, so any more fouls will send both these two teams to the free throw line. Johnson got it by Harris. Looks at penetration, puts it up. And he'll go back to the free throw line, so a costly foul given away. 31.3 seconds left in the game.
Good execution by both teams, finding mismatches or matchups that they like. This time it's Keedy Johnson and the smaller Jalen Harris, and he gets downhill relatively easy. Jalen Harris there, I'd like to actually see not foul and force Keedy Johnson to finish over Stampley and box out, then go box out Brad Green.
Well, Johnson's been 100% from the charity stripe. He's now 4 for 4. Bristol has missed 5. He is now their top scorer this evening. 19 points for Keedy Johnson. Makes them both.
Getting his money at the free throw line.
Well, timeout to the Giants. Brian Simonian, he wants to talk it over with his players as they're trailed by 2 points. You got to think. Be interested to see what he's going to say to his players in this timeout, but I kind of feel like, JT, they might go for a three-pointer just by the way they've been playing this game so far. 13 for 32 from the perimeter this evening.
You know, it would not surprise me to get Nick Lewis open for a three-pointer.
Now, you're in the corner. You're in the corner. Makes Jalen hit Nick Lewis. You're in the corner, Darius. Let's go ball side. Let's go screen and roll. He hits, hit Jamal, hit that shit. It's a quick screen and roll. You just stage your last screen, free throws, if he sags off in any way, you shoot that first one you get. You're hot. Okay? You roll hard. Got it? Let's go, fellas.
Well, interesting words there from Brian Simoni, but again, looks like, you know, the option is going to be Jamel Anderson probably.
That's where you have to go. He's leading the team in score. I think at this point, he's your best decision maker. He's the best option that you have. He's your vet. He's your leader. As we mentioned several times, he does everything for you. So why not let him go make a play for you? And I think it's going to be, looks like him and Stampley in a pick and roll, trying to put Brad Green and Roel Graham-Bell in some action, probably the Flyers' 2 worst defenders.
7 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Well, 7.3 to be exact. Giants trail by 2. Fans on their feet here at the Performance Center. This is going to be a big moment. Giants trying to build their character here. Lewis needs to be careful. Goes in the corner. Neal, 3. Doesn't get it. The rebound has been secured. Well, again, they got the shot. They got the good look.
It was a good look. They gave the ball. I ended up going to Lewis there, actually, and wanted to put Lewis in the pick and roll with Brad Green. A heads-up play by Keedy Johnson to kind of blitz the play. Lewis has to be able to see the whole floor because that's a scramble 3 from McNeil, contested from the corner. It's an okay shot, but it kind of takes you out of what you were trying to get into.
Well, we both predicted that they would go for a three-pointer. It's just what they did. It's not over yet. Remember, this team collectively, the Bristol Flyers, have missed 5 free throws. They're 14 for 19 tonight. They're on the road. Roel Graham-Bell makes the first one. 3-point lead to the Flyers.
Flyers going to send everybody back, so it should be an easy rebound for the Giants. If you get it off the rim, cannot call timeout in a live ball situation. You got to get it and push, but it makes them both.
Well, makes a both, and Brian Simonian is going to call timeout as he talks it over with his players. 2-possession game with only 13.5 seconds left. The traveling fans from Bristol again can take a big breath and sigh of relief. But let's go and listen to what Brian Simonian has to say.
On that hit, Ev, you're going through. Okay, through. As he's going through, Darius, you're coming round and pinning Jamel's man. Jamel pop, catch, shoot the through. Okay, so Darius, you're coming round, pin Jamel's man. Jamel pop back, get your feet underneath you, catch, shoot the ball. Okay, we're going to press the ball full court. Through. Yeah, just I'll be open. Yeah, open. Yeah, Jalen's on the ball. Yeah. So don't stop. It's going to be me. It's going to be me.
4-point ball game, 13.5 seconds remains in this.
Well, interesting words. I think, they want to go for something quick when that's a 2 or 3, but you saw the emphasis there. They must put on the full court pressure right away, but there's not a lot of time left.
Not a lot of time, and it looks like they're going to go for a three-pointer. It looks like a little bit of a misdirection there coming for Jamel Anderson to get the ball at the top of the key. Not a lot of time, but you have time to get a layup and then foul, so I want that to be stressed. Don't force a three-pointer if it's not the best available shot.
We'll find Anderson. 3 is up. No good. It was on target. Flyers come up with a rebound. Well, Basel fans currently joining us here on the British Basel YouTube. Well, just avoiding the backcourt violation. At the end of this one, the Bristol Flyers will leave with a victory, 91-87 against the Manchester Giants. Well, again, a good performance from Coach Andreas Capuz's team. And again, they had an 18-point lead. The Giants got themselves back in it. They went down by 2, but collectively, this team, what is it? That's 4 wins on the road, or in a row now for the Flyers.
4 straight wins for the Flyers. First one against, well, not first one, they beat now Sheffield, 2 against Plymouth and Manchester. So it looks like Coach Capoulas and his group is kind of finding their rhythm, finding their groove a lot better. They look much sharper, much better rhythm on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, the Giants, of course, missing William Lee, Ledger Burton, and as we mentioned, Austin Lorden with 0 points, fouled out of the game. So they really had to battle being a very small team. But, JT, I got to tell you, from when they played you guys at the Copper Box to beating Leicester, they actually look like a very good team when they have to go small. But I'm going to ask you a question now. Who has been your player of the game?
Oh, that's tough. You could go a multitude of ways, but I have to go to Tejan Lucas. He set the pace for Bristol today. Keedy Johnson was great, especially in the second half. Finished leading them in scoring. But 17, 6 and 6 from Tejan Lucas. You saw the growth from only 2 weeks. He was great in the ball screen. He was patient. He was persistent. And he really got the Bristol Flyers going and got them to their 4th straight win.
We're going to take a look at the statistics from this magnificent game in which the Flyers won in the end, 91-87 against the Manchester Giants. But one thing that really stands out was the 3-point shooting for the Giants, just below 40% and still narrowly losing this game.
Just below 40%, and I want to make a point that the shot selection was questionable. If you kind of clean up those looks and shot selection, I think they could really, the way they shoot the ball could be up in that 45, 50% range even in some games. But the total rebounds flipped, 20-16 in the first half. Bristol asserted their will in the second half, and 43-31, that's 27-11 in the second half, including 13 offensive rebounds. That's 16-3 above their season average. Manchester did clean up the turnovers a bit there in the second half, but not enough to come away with the victory.
Well, now we're going to take a look at the league standings here in the British Basketball League. And as we mentioned, it's a big victory for the Bristol Flyers. They now temporarily move into 2nd place, just behind Jordan Taylor's London Lions. Manchester Giants, it was good for them last week as they picked up a big victory against the Leicester Riders. But now we're going to take a look at some of the key fixtures this weekend in the league. Tomorrow is going to be a big game, the Le Clasico, as we call it, the Newcastle Eagles versus the Leicester Riders, 2 of the most successful teams here in the British Basketball League. While Jordan Taylor's London Lions, they'll be on Sky Sports and also showcase in the United States of America on the New England Sports Network as they go take on the Sheffield Sharks. Well, again, it's been a very exciting game, but the key thing, Tejan Lucas, what a phenomenal player he was tonight. You mentioned it. I mean, he's proven to be a phenomenal talent here in the British Basketball League. 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists away from a potential triple-double. But, he's becoming that kind of player.
Yeah, he has, and he's been really, really good. As we mentioned, every time we see Bristol play now, we've highlighted Keedy Johnson, we've highlighted Tevin Ollison. Rightfully so. Those guys were great tonight as well. But Tejan Lucas, again, he hit the game winner against Cheshire. He set the tone for them offensively, and he has them really playing well offensively and setting the tone with their rhythm, and they're shooting a higher percentage. Struggled from 3 tonight, but, they can always fall back on offensive rebounding, really good from the 2-point line, and that's what a good point guard does.
Well, I want to see this guy back in the court, of course, but while he's not in the court, I love having him call the games because, it's been a pleasure calling this game with you. Well, Basel fans in the United Kingdom and in the United States of America, we would like to say thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Bent. He's the great Jordan Taylor. But for now, it's good night, and we'll see you tomorrow and this weekend for more games in the British Basketball League.